Hey, wait a minute. Raven's out of uniform.
Raven's not out of uniform.
Oh,
Oh,
the ears.
Lips.
well, I'm certain she's got them somewhere ready to go. Probably not.
Black lips? You have black lips somewhere? Keep them in a drawer.
You don't have to wear black lipstick all the time.
No, Raven's...
You wear a
Sometimes
nice
Raven's
dark
feeling
red.
red. It's the blood of her enemies, is
Yeah.
what it is.
Exactly.
Thomas, have you ever heard
Also,
of pastel?
Evelyn packed her black lipstick away into a box and is not going to be unpacking it until
Now that
she's
one will
done
do
moving.
it. That one will do it.
You're moving?
Thomas,
Yes, Chandler.
Where are you moving to? Out of state? Really? You're moving out of Tennessee? And you're muted.
have you never heard of pastel goth, Thomas?
Pastel goth. Oh my
Exactly.
gosh.
Well, even red can be plenty goth.
That's
It's all
true.
about styling.
That's true. I went to a goth club not too long ago, and I saw all sorts of vampires in red attire.
Mm-hmm.
That
That's
is not a
very
joke.
fun.
It,
That
it's
sounds so fun.
it's called Temple in Knoxville. It's not too far away, Cameron.
I am passing through Knoxville.
I was gonna say.
I'm certain the person that I am going with, I cannot possibly convince to go to a goth club with me, which makes me deeply sad, but
That is sad. I mean, the worst. You just walk in, see what's happening, but hey, it's not some people's scenes.
I feel I get very excited to like enter into scenes that are not my own very often because I dress like a little Animal Crossing character 90% of the time, and that's just
Honestly,
kind of how I
that's a really
live
good
my life.
description of your closet.
Yeah.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. But like, I've been going to like metal shows recently, and I'm like, I know I belong here. Like, I'm allowed to take up space in this area, but I have to tell myself that actively.
Mm-hmm.
This space is made for Cameron.
Uh-huh.
Evelyn,
I make my little home here.
I didn't know you were moving. When are you moving? Is that a
No, she's trying to eat, and all of us are trying to shove food in our
That's
faces
true.
before we go live.
I'm the waiter that asks how you're enjoying your meal while you're taking it.
I'll talk to you guys about it later, not on stream.
Yeah, I was
Okay,
gonna say
that
that's
is
probably
100% fair.
5:30. It's time for Monster of the Week.
Oh man.
I asked this to Cameron because I think she was the only one who was on at the time. Anyone got any questions I could answer before stream?
Will I survive?
Who knows? I don't know. We shall see.
How much money are you going to give Thomas? That's a real question.
That is actually a good question.
I don't know, Thomas. Do you still want any business advice?
I bribed Thomas with the free overlay.
No.
I still haven't gotten my
I'll slide him a
tech
20.
gadgets.
Yeah. It's a good start.
Pat, I resent that. I've given you like 6.
No. I've had to compromise with what you've given
Yeah,
me.
because you're working with a bureaucratic government
Nothing
agency.
That I've asked for. I bribed you with a free overlay. And dwarf porn. And dwarf liquor. What more do I gotta do?
Oh, no.
Gross. Gross. Cameron, you've suddenly gone sideways and sideways.
Oh. What do I do?
You've
I don't know.
gone sideways.
Tilted.
There you go.
She's-
I tilted
She's
Cameron.
straight tilted.
I'm mad. What can I say, you know?
That's true.
Stay mad.
Stay mad. That's your secret.
Start mad, stay
you gotta
mad.
stay mad so you don't have to get mad.
That's true. Well said.
That's copied directly from RuPaul's Drag Race. What can you do?
You're a
I mean,
mixed bag.
Some might say that, yes. Thank you. I'm seen in that statement.
That's the Hulk secret too, so I mean,
Yeah.
if there's that.
Flexible.
I love it when Pat drops a
the whole
sub
secret was
while
not to make
I'm
him hungry.
hosting the stream. God, that feels good. He's a player, but what's it matter? Oh, that bass kick. All right. Why don't we have people look at our faces? If
Okay.
no, you not feeling it,
I got it. There we go. Had to bring.
Chandler. I swear, I've already adjusted you. What was that, Rob?
Only if we really must.
I think we must.
By
So-
the way, I'm on like
I kind of
meds
feel
that are, like, crying me out.
Robert's
so...
very musty.
You're good. All right.
I've been drinking water by like the bucket load.
So you're musty and moldy. Okay.
All right, everybody. Welcome to Monster of the Week. Again, we're here on another weird day, but that's okay. Because we like to fill in the gaps here.
It's not weird day, it's Wednesday.
Wednesday, you're right. Sorry, I misspoke. As always, I have the most amazing group of people with me. The exact
Wait,
same
I thought
people
you
that we had
might
last
have us-
time, which for Monster of the Week is kind of a feat of strength, if I'm being honest. We have a great story that we're going to finish out today. If you guys have been keeping track, this is the third episode of the same mystery that we've been on, which is the longest mystery I've done so far. We shall see how our people do at surviving this deadly encounter. But before we get into that, why don't we do some quick player and character introductions? And I will do a little recap of what we did last time. And then we'll get started. So why don't we start with Patrick Draws.
Oh, I'm not muted. My foot. I'm still Pat Draws. I'm still the channel troll. I will hopefully be returning to my art streams within a month if my schedule works out okay. And other than that, I do a lot of the fan art for the Blue Box communities, and I troll the chat as often as I can.
Which, if you want to see that beautiful fan art, you should absolutely be checking out our Discord if you are not in our Discord yet. It is a amazing community full of really cool
signature
people.
Move.
Which Evelyn has done the amazing service of dropping in the chat for you guys. An easy to click on link. Go check it out. It's cool stuff. I promise you'll like it. Go to the fan art section. Look at all of Pat's cool stuff. And soon we will have fan art for every character of Monster of the Week. Done by our beautiful Hob, who is currently busy tonight. You might have seen that she was supposed to be on tonight's stream, but some life stuff brought her away, so the monsters came out to play. Ah ha ha ha. That was so bad. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm laughing.
I don't
No, it's
deserve it.
funny,
I didn't
Thomas.
earn it. I didn't pay you to do that.
Really funny.
All right.
It's good.
Well,
We're proud of
I
you.
thought we were told not to drink before stream.
you're right. Why don't you tell us who you are playing tonight, Pat, and we will move
I am
right along.
playing Adrian Yanav. I am
Who
the
is Adrian?
professional of the group.
He is, as you can see by Pat, a tiefling, a red-skinned tiefling. Because in this version of Monster of the Week, there are the races that you can find in the D&D world, because I'm really creative. Why don't we move along to Cameron?
Hello. I'm Cameron. I'm just plain Cameron over here on Twitch and on Instagram and other places. I don't do many things at the moment. I'm in grad school studying to become a therapist and hopefully implement a love of tabletop roleplay game and therapy one day. But that's
I
many
don't
moons
do
from
many
here.
things, says the grad
well,
student.
Just trying to stay alive, that's all. And similar to that, that's what I'm hopefully gonna try to do here today. I play Val in Monster of the Week. And she's just a regular gal. I'm playing
Just
a
plain
mundane
Val.
character, so just plain Val. You can also find her on Instagram. She's also kicking around, hanging out.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I just plugged somebody.
Maybe you did just plug somebody.
You're welcome. But yeah, Val's just a regular 23-year-old with an affinity for golf clubs. And now a cool baton gifted to her by Adrian. So
Of course.
yeah.
Gotta love shock batons, right? Made by
Gotta love
weird,
'em.
highly technical CIA agencies.
Mhm.
Evelyn! Never mind. Chandler!
Hello, I am Chandler, also known as the Mr. Grantler on Twitch, where we stream just wacky stuff. It's very different than this type of content, but if you want to see me play through Ace Attorney, we've got that just on the horizon. Or if you like the great game of golf, we play that almost weekly. we're working through Ace Attorney, like I said, because I'm imminently about to go to law school, where I will disappear for 3 years, go into a cocoon state, and then emerge as a criminal
Beautiful
defense
butterfly.
lawyer. Yeah, exactly. But basically a downgrade. I'm joking.
Oh, jeez.
What else? I paint on Chandler_Son of Peter, and I'm on the Sunday Rune Lords cast. So I'm just all into this whole nerd world we found ourselves in, and frankly, I'm just happy that you're here with me.
And who are you playing tonight, Monsieur?
Oh yeah, I'm playing a character. Mary. I'm playing Mary, and the thing about Mary is that she knows what the government's trying to hide from you. She knows about the heat rays, okay? That's because she's just been given access to this.
I was gonna say.
By our agents. But she has made some beautiful conspiracy theories for our group, one of which I've sent before in a previous game. And she's excited.
Did you drop that in the fan art chat? I think you did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I might have, yeah. And yeah, she's a mess. She's every person from the internet you hate, basically.
She's a wonderful mess, a beautiful mess.
Yes.
All right,
Beautiful disaster.
Evelyn, who are you? What do you do?
Hi everyone, I am Evelyn. I'm Theater Evie here on Twitch and Twitter and Instagram. That's where you can find me mostly. Let's see. I'm on Blue Box. Like every all the time. I played in the Rune Lords campaign, I'm in the Greyhawk Awakening campaign, and I'm here on Wednesday nights, usually for Lore Masters Arcanum. Tonight we're doing Monster of the Week. And in Monster of the Week, I play Raven. She is a halfling. She is a werewolf. She likes to eat a lot. She's awesome.
She's the best. I'm sorry, guys. I do have a favorite. It is Raven.
Because she's so...
Because she's... You're right, Pat. It's because she's a fluffy, cute werewolf. And last but not least, our most recent addition to the Monster of the Week cast. Not cats. Oh no, we're playing cats tonight.
Thomas, you are trying to herd cats here. So.
You're very right.
Yeah.
It is our very own
catty of you.
Phantom of New Jersey.
Yeah, I'm one man looking for his voice because it disappeared somewhere over the last couple of days. Phantom NJ on Twitch, Phantom NJ_D&D on Twitter. Find me in the Blue Box Discord, always.
Yeah.
All the time. I'm always there. You can also find me. Actually, I will be running a Castle and Crusades game on Time Lord Wife's channel on Sunday.
Sweet.
Right around time that Blue Box ends.
I'm certain we'll be raiding right into you.
Actually, I don't even know anymore because the time changes are weird.
True. Oh, is that happening this weekend? Oh, no.
This Sunday, and she's located in a place where the time change doesn't happen.
Oh, goodness, that's true.
Oh.
Hmm.
Complicated.
So things get screwy. I don't know what direction that goes in, but yeah. But you can also find me on my own channel on Monday nights, normally around 8 p.m., doing things.
Fun stuff. Sweet. That's our whole cast, everybody.
I'm also...
Oh, yes. Who are you playing?
I am playing Charles Chuck Durbin, a spellslinger, right out of Central Casting for an Old West film, wearing a, he's dressed full on with a, cowboy hat. Well, not so much, maybe, I don't know if it's a cowboy hat is the right term, but long leather duster, and he does sling spells out of a revolver.
An arcanely carved revolver, which some of our party members saw some use of last session in the attempted and successful healing of a heavily injured man. Speaking of what happened last session, why don't we get into that as I cue up some different music? Give me but a moment.
Moments up.
No! I didn't have long enough. You need to give me a longer moment. Alright. Cody, Wyoming. On the surface, an innocent town named after a mythic man. Home to a museum, a few diners and inns, and an entrance to the greatest preserved area on land west of the Mississippi. at least according to Teddy Roosevelt. However, a darkness has fallen over this once quiet town this winter. Tales of some monster up in the mountains, ghosts in the trees, leviathans in the lakes, and most recently, a short, red-headed murderer on the loose, stringing people up on trees. But you fine hunters know better. You know there is a larger darkness behind these deeds, something more ancient and mysterious. You investigated the scene of the crimes and were shot at by the main suspect before being called away by your more mundane friend to protect an elderly man who the PNRDC sent you to question. You saved him from an egg that had been planted inside him, and potentially from a woman with questionable motives and no clear answers who sought to find him in town. You did some following up on her, looked into a nearby mountaineer / trail guide named Amarok the Grey Wolf, who appears to have left his shop a number of days ago and hasn't returned since. You followed his trail back to the park and spent the night, after some preparation, with JR and Alice before your inevitable meeting with whatever this horrible creature may be. Is it truly a monster, or does darkness find itself in the hearts of men this time? Raven. You've just been swallowed by a massive sunflower, whose face has caved in, its seeds sharpened to points looking like an endless maw of infinite teeth pulling you in, deeper and deeper down an endless spiral. Wind rushes around you like a torrent, an impossible hurricane of noise. Roll plus weird for me.
Say that's a
Isn't
solid
there
roll
something
to
when
make
did
for
Raven
this.
get swallowed by a sunflower?
She's currently asleep, and this is a dream.
Oh, okay.
I just rolled a 15.
You rolled a 15?
Yes.
Well, good. I get to.
3.
So Evelyn, on our last
Your
level up,
dreams.
took the spooky move, Premonitions, and this is her premonition. So,
leveling, I forgot about that.
you push through the hurricane, around you to see your friends turning on you, locked in a cage with 2 doors and dead bears. Their blood is on your hands. So, as long as you work toward preventing that, you get +1 forward, and when you do successfully, you get an experience. So that is what you see. You see yourself in this room in a room that you can't quite make out the details of precisely, but it feels dark and damp with these 2 doors, almost like cage doors. You feel locked in, and your friends lie around you with the bodies of bears nearby. And you all wake up to a sunshiny day in this beautiful log cabin.
I've got a theory, guys. Thomas just told us that the killer is a short, deranged, red-headed man.
So,
Are we
does he
sure
know?
that he's? Yeah, I was about to say, are we sure it's not?
Oh no!
Thomas.
All right, what are you guys doing? What's up?
Can't say as I blame him. There's been many times I've wanted to shoot Mary.
Alice is up. She is cooking a plate of eggs. If you guys remember, I think I said that you guys had
Yeah.
paella last night, which is like
Yeah.
quite
Yeah.
the meal to have.
I like peyote.
Yeah, and
Delicious.
so you're having some leftover prawns and eggs
Ugh,
with
prawns?
some rice, and
Beautiful.
that's where you're currently at. What do you guys do as you wake up?
I normally belch, but I'll hold that in.
I will request 6 eggs for my breakfast.
Which
Uh,
Amanda will
you
promptly
want
point you toward the kitchen.
6 eggs.
Yes, I gotta keep my calories up for the day. You have to understand, all I eat is slurry and chicken tendies.
I
and
asked
we
our
can't go
host
back.
if there's anything I can do to help, like chop wood or scour the area, calling an airstrike.
Could be helpful.
No, that she says everything is taken care of. Just take a seat, enjoy the food. You guys are the ones doing the hard work out there right now, trying to solve whatever's going on.
Beautiful. Okay.
I think Val if there was like a little front porch or something, or like kind of an area to just kind of like look out at the woods for a while. I think she would have tried to like wake up a little bit earlier than maybe everyone in the
no
party
problem.
and like just take a minute, kind of like ground herself in the weird reality she's finding herself in. Maybe drink like a good strong black cup of coffee if that was around, like, and just kind of be like, okay, this is still, everything's somehow still real. Like, we're still here for now. Okay.
Adrian's gonna walk out behind her while she's contemplating her coffee and ask her if she wants to test out her new toy. I'd be more than happy to spar with her a little bit. Work out the kinks from the night.
I'll like put the cup down on like kind of the edge or railing and just kind of like work the shoulders a little bit and, you know, kind of give like a like half hop of like a fighter and be like, let's go, old man. Like, and we'll kind of like head up to the front yard.
I'm only 170 bucks.
No,
I know.
Val
that's
for
what
sure.
we can be doing.
I don't think she'll like, you know, turn anything on for right now. Like in terms of like the baton, not wanting to walk in with any injuries or anything like that.
Kind of.
Chuck, Raven, what are you guys doing
after the victory?
Yep, we sure will.
Tomorrow, we got a raid from Time Lord's wife. So
Hey!
thank you very much, Shakayla, and all of her raiders.
Hey guys.
Welcome.
Secondly, Raven actually like wakes up in a cold sweat after having this nightmare of a dream premonition, and kind of holds her hand to her head, trying to process everything, and just kind of like jumps up and goes to look for everyone else.
Great. And where would Chuck be this morning?
Chuck is not an early riser, if he doesn't have to be, so hearing movement outside, he opens an eye, stares out the window, decides, the sun, I guess it's high enough up. All right. And gingerly gets out of bed, feeling bones creep, because...
Sweet.
Yeah, he's feeling a bit too old for this.
There is a hot cup of coffee waiting on the kitchen counter for you if you want to grab it.
Oh, Chuck will be grabbing a cup of coffee.
I assume so. And as you grab your cup of coffee, you go to take your first sip, and the door behind you swings open as JR is on the phone. He looks at you and he says, I think we might have a little bit of a situation. They
the door
found...
swings open?
Yeah.
Like very suddenly?
Yeah.
Before I've had my coffee.
Yeah.
JR has a gun pointed at his head.
Oh, okay, partner. Alrighty.
Did anyone tell you not to sneak up on a wizard?
You're in my house. A wizard? Sorry. We will unpack the statement you've just made later. You're in my house. Thirdly, they found another body up on the mountain.
Coffee. Have not drunk yet.
I'm glad you have priorities. What are we doing here, folks? And he'll like walk outside and get you guys to come back in.
Oh,
They found another body strung up on Deer Creek Pass. Actually, Alice, we need to get moving, get in the car. They want us to block off the path before county sheriffs can get in with the FBI.
Y'all got to go cups?
We got to go cuffs.
Okay, let's go.
Why are we worried about to-go cups? There's a ginger slasher out there carving people up like jack-o'-lanterns.
I feel
Does he have
attacked.
coffee?
Adrian starts doing the typical,
Ginger
come on people, let's roll.
Sweet.
You know,
You guys hop
Starts
in
heading
the
towards
the van, I imagine.
fires up the
Yeah.
zombie mobile.
Sweet.
Chuck does remember to put on his duster.
Of course.
That would be,
And
that would be
clothes,
bad.
hopefully.
Otherwise.
You make your way, not very far up the road, to a similar nearby trail entrance to the one you were on. It does more kind of curve off this way a bit, if you can see where I am pinging on the map. Nonetheless, you do follow that trail road, that Jeep access road that you got onto last time. JR and Alice will pull off and block that Jeep access road with their car, as they were told to do.
After we pass them, right?
After you pass them, yes. You are on this road. And you make your way up the trail a ways. They made you aware of where the body was found, or nearly where it was found. And about halfway up the trail, Raven, with the windows down, you smell that harsh irony scent of blood from a distance, and you tell Adrian where to pull off the trail. And you guys pretty quickly come to a stop and find yourselves on the side of a mountain on a gravelly trail. And similar to last time, except for this time, with the body still on a tree, you see a person strung up with, carved into their chest, what looks like the symbol of a sun with many, many, many dots arcing its way inward in a spiral toward the center. What do you do?
I mean,
Since Raven seems to have a lot of the kind of lore knowledge of the symbol so far, I kind of look at her and say, does this compare to what we've seen before? Is it similar, or is it somehow different? I don't remember the spiral. I remember it looking like a giant sunflower before, but this one seems a little more spirally.
DM?
It instantly reminds you of the vision you saw in your head of that sunflower.
Yeah. This seems pretty familiar.
God, this is awful. People are having nightmares about this. I gotta say, the last time I started listening to my nightmares, I wound up in a ward for 6 months. I wouldn't recommend that you tell anybody about it.
Alright.
Val, looks at Mary and is like, you want to talk? We'll
It's
talk.
fine. I'm not.
You and Val should have a conversation. I need to talk some more with Raven for a second while we investigate these.
So here's the thing, Val. They tried to get me to take all these pills, and I just wouldn't have them because they were making me feel kind of like in a fog.
Can you talk more quietly in the van?
Oh yeah, here, let's go, Val.
I'll put my arm around her and be like listening, but also like, hey, that sounds like something really heavy happened to you.
Going into therapist mode.
Are you okay? Yeah.
Chuck just stands there while everybody goes off in their separate directions and just sips coffee and
actually, that would be...
All right. Why don't you roll to investigate a mystery for me, Rob?
All right. What is it? T6s again?
Yes, 2d6, and you will add your sharp bonus.
He's sharp as a rock.
7.
7, a mixed success. You get to ask one question from the list of investigative mystery questions. I'm not sure if you have that up. It is at the top of your character sheet if you have that up on Roll20.
Investigative mystery.
I can also read them off to you if you would like to know.
I apologize.
You're good.
Someone was at the door.
Okay. Yeah. I found it.
Okay, so one of those questions you get to ask.
None of them seem to fit, except what happened here.
That is a very good question. This, as you look up at the body, you see that this person was cut multiple times between their ribs up into the lungs, and looks like they were left to die of their own natural death from the causes of that afterwards. Not that was a quick death, and they were afterwards strung up on this tree. The wounds on their wrists do not appear like they are blood-soaked at all, or as if blood has rushed to them as if they've been hanging for a while. They appear to have been hung after death.
You said the cuts on the chest. do they look deep enough for organs to have been removed?
To be removed, no. But it doesn't look entirely professional, if that helps.
Okay.
And you do, as a wizard, get a little bit of that arcane whiff in the air of yes, on the nose. Something here feels amiss arcane-wise in terms of that same kind of feeling you got when you were at the trees with the other two bodies the last time.
Okay.
I'm still talking to Raven, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay. I go up to her and ask her if everything's okay, because you seem to be a little more upset when you saw these new markings.
I had a really weird dream last night. Pretty horrifying.
Kind of like a message, or just kind of just random because of the events that have been happening?
It felt like something's coming, like it hasn't happened yet. And it worries me.
Things coming how? Badly? Really badly? End of world badly?
As of people, lots of people, bad.
I don't consider this coincidence. That's good to know. Pre-warned is pre-armed, as they would say. If something else kind of triggers your senses, please let me know so we can prepare more.
How close are you guys to the bodies?
Body?
Body, sorry.
Or body.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, was there one?
Freudian slip.
Ah!
Some more.
Yeah.
There's 16 bodies. No.
The Ginger Slasher could be here right now.
Now, if I'm not wrong, the first ones weren't the trees the things that were carved, not the bodies?
Yes, but also to be fair, you guys never looked at the bodies. Raven simply caught a whiff of a smell on them and followed that. You guys never looked at the bodies. They were in body bags.
Yeah, but the trees themselves, okay. But the trees were also carved.
The trees were also carved.
The trees are not carved here, just the body.
From what you can tell, no, the trees are not carved. Actually, make a sharp check for me. Just roll plus sharp.
I have no plus sharp. Is there anybody sharper than me?
There is.
A knife.
Currently, she is in the van. She was told to leave.
I did not tell you to leave. I said to have your conversation quietly.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 2.
Ah!
Which now gives me enough experience to level.
It is at that moment you look up at the tree. You don't see anything initially on it, and you look past, and deep in the forest you see something move from one tree to another, and then all of you, even the ones in the van, hear a loud crack of gunfire come from deep in the forest, and Adrian, you take 2 harm as a bullet hits you in the shoulder.
I'm wearing armor.
So then you take 1 harm. But the bullet hits you for 2.
I think it has to hit me for more than 2 for me to do. Flak vest, 1 armor, but I've also got, is it battlefield awareness? And I get plus 1 more for my armor.
I'm going to say that your battlefield awareness does not apply here because you failed. You were not specifically aware of this. In the moment, you were distracted by your conversation. Otherwise, that absolutely applies. You rolled a 2, and I don't know how I can't punish that.
But I'm a tactical genius, shouldn't I? Should I?
That's fair, cool? But you did get shot in the shoulder with a bullet. You're gonna take 2 harm from it, but take away your regular armor, just not the other armor.
It's definitely the scene in the movie where it's close up watching you look at the body, and then it refocuses into the distance where you see the glint of a sniper scope.
Yes, and as that happens, Raven, your eyes instantly catch a similar red frock of hair, and you guys hear the revving of an engine in the distance from what sounds like a dirt bike. Where is everybody, and what's everybody doing in response to this?
Oh, me and Val are in the van.
You guys did hear it. The windows were open.
I think at like the moment Val like is kind of like listening to Mary for a while, and then like just kind of like taps her on the shoulder and is like, Mare, I need you to know that like sometimes you say things that like genuinely have me worried for you, and I want you to know that if like you ever need to talk about some of those like sometimes I feel like you're talking up here, and I know there's some stuff going on down here, and if you ever want to talk about that, I am fully and
just
then
give her a big
Oh God! Oh, do you hear the sound of a motor engine revving?
I do hear. Is that a dirt bike?
Do you know how to drive?
Do you hear the sound of your
I
companion
know how to
going,
drive. I don't know how to drive.
Then get on the throttle. I just learned how to use the heat cannons.
Great.
Oh goodness. Okay.
I think I'll like peek my head out the van and be like, "What are we doing? Everybody okay? What's going on?"
And you're gonna see Adrian going, "Get back in, get back in."
You get in here. You.
Are you gonna let the ginger slasher get away?
Urging the rest of the team to get back into the van.
Raven, Chuck.
Well, also, gesture in the direction that she saw the
boy.
person in. Mm-hmm.
The boy.
Chuck.
Oh, we know it's a boy now.
Chuck's eyes follow. If she's pointing it out, Chuck's eyes are following to where she's pointing. If he sees, does he see the person?
You saw movement when she pointed. He appears to have disappeared, but you do hear a revving of an engine from a different direction than him. And that sound revs up and gets louder and starts moving towards you, Doppler effect style. Sounds like it's almost coming from the other side of the van toward you guys.
Chuck is going to actually move between the van and where the revving is coming from.
Okay. All right.
And I got a spell coming.
Okay. When you move to that side of the van, you peer around and you see riding atop a dirt bike the familiar face of, well, did you see this person? Of a half-orc woman with light green gray skin and tusks just barely poking up over her teeth and a bob of black hair with a fireman's axe in one hand, revving toward you, ready to slash.
Good. I was worried the Faerun rode a motorcycle.
I told you, it might not be a monster.
So,
I would like that.
Pointing directly at her.
Great.
He spins her revolver, hits where he wants it to be. Thunder wave.
Oh, all right. I believe that's one of your regular attack spells, so roll to kick some ass.
All right.
Let's get into it. Combat.
I'd love to see it.
I love Western combat music.
I just need a reminder, is it still 2d6?
It's 2d6. Everything is 2d6. You don't roll for damage, you don't roll for anything else.
And this is my add weird, correct?
Yes, because you are casting a spell.
That's going to be a 12.
All right. So not only do you get to do the effects of your spell, but if you look, on a 10+, you also get to add some sort of an effect. And I believe that effect is going to be put them where you want them, which would, I imagine, be knocking her off of her bike.
Well, preferably into a tree.
Okay, yeah, I think that's fair. I think actually the majority of the damage comes from her getting blasted off of the bike. The bike does go with her and sort of almost crunches on her right leg as you see her head conk into the tree. and she sort of stumbles there for a moment and looks up at you as she drops her axe and gives you sort of a sorrowful look with tears in her eyes as she leans back down to pick up the axe and starts moving toward you again. Let's go to Raven and Adrian. You guys hear another crack come from the distance. Raven, can you roll to act under pressure for me? Not good?
Are you having a seizure, Tom?
How bad?
Okay.
Incurably bad?
It's a 3.
Oh, goody!
Use luck. Use luck.
I don't want to use luck.
Freak out.
You instinctively, your claws begin to come out, and you sort of move toward the threat. And in doing so, you expose yourself to a shot that glances straight across your ribcage, and deals 3 harm to you. That was not a good roll.
Well, since I have taken a harm, I can use my unquenchable vitality, and I'll see if I can heal myself.
Suck that blood back in. It's not supposed to be outside, it's supposed to be inside.
Get that back in there.
Get that back in there.
Okay, that's good. That's plus cool, so that's 11. So
Okay.
I heal 2, so now I'm down to 1.
So it's effectively 1 harm. And you look up to see this gnomish figure wielding a Colt revolver pointed in your direction with a machete in his other hands, walking toward you. What do you guys do?
I have a question.
Sure.
The gnomish person is
Yes.
like what, 2.5 foot high?
Or sorry, not gnomish, halfling. Yes, quite small.
Okay, so same size as Raven.
Yes.
Which means
So-
if Raven can see that person,
You
I
can definitely see that person.
see that person.
Yeah, Adrian has eyes on this person.
I pull
He
my
is
9
in a
millimeter.
thicket, so it is rough, but you do have eyes on him
I
at
pull my
least.
9 millimeter because I have just been shot.
Yeah,
So now
Fair.
I am armed, and I will kick some ass toward him. Hopefully.
sweet. Why don't you roll it? Oh,
Come on, kid.
Rob, I forgot to mention, she does walk up to you and slash at you with this fireman's axe for 2 harm, because I always forget, despite the fact that you succeeded on your roll, you always take damage back. I need to get better at doing that. On a 10 plus, you can choose to reduce that damage, but
Hold on a second. Don't I have?
oh, put her where you want her. Okay, I'll say this. You don't take harm, but she is now right upon you and will hurt you very badly if you don't do something about it. How about that?
Okay.
That makes more sense to me. All right. What'd you roll, Pat?
I rolled a 9 plus 2 for toughness, which is an 11.
Okay, sweet. That's a very good shot. You both trade... You trade shots, but this time your tactical awareness is ready. The blow glances off of your body armor, and you see... How much harm does that deal?
I think the revolver does 2.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hit him squarely in the meat of his thigh. And he stumbles down for a moment and grips up onto a tree and begins moving toward you.
I wasn't aiming that low.
Yeah, he's short. He doesn't have... It's all kind of
He
squished
shot
together.
me in my shoulder. I'm shooting him in his shoulder. At least,
Val
if not the
and
chest.
Mary, what are you guys doing in the van?
Ew.
Well, I'm watching what's going on outside through the monitor that's connected to the heat ray that I was told about.
Yeah.
I don't imagine anybody's within arc of that, because I imagine it's a fixed weapon to the front of this.
It is a turret that remains on top of the
No, no.
weapon.
It's on top of the van.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
great.
got
So it
360 degrees.
Pops up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great, wonderful, fantastic. This is just like the simulations. It's time.
But do you remember the
Simulations.
password?
Yeah, I remember the password. I'm gonna quickly key in what the password.
Roll to
that
act under
Adrian-
pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna key in the password that Adrian gave me.
Key in
Can I
the
help
password.
Mary?
So, as a reminder, help out is only necessary if the roll would bring it to the next stage of success.
Got it.
I got a 7, so we're good. And when the password I correctly inputted, I just say, "I'm in."
Pushes up glasses. There's like that sheen on them.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I pull it out of my pocket. Okay. And
No, he has them ready.
She's just talking to herself.
Oh God.
oh wait, no, sorry. This is a government vehicle with like a fancy system. So we've got the.
What are you doing, Chandler? What is going on?
How many glasses do you have ready for this
Too
game?
many. I'm in.
I'm in.
And
Okay.
I'm gonna try and target. I'm gonna say the person on the bike who
Sweet.
seems to be the
Mary
biggest
chose
threat to us.
The blue pill.
For this quote-unquote round, you have gained access to the system and are targeting. We'll see what
Great.
happens the next one.
And I imagine the system is just really old. Like it's got this old OS and it's just
No.
state of the art.
State of the art.
This is state of the art. The van is crappy. The technology is good.
Then of course you can hear the little like beep 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 as the targeting reticule gets closer and closer as it moves.
Stay on target.
Love it. Stay on target. Do a barrel roll.
I flipped the car.
Wow.
No.
Don't piss Val off.
No.
Val, what are you
Rolling
doing?
Anything.
Later. How close am I to the gal who just fell off the bike? I assume
She
it
is
would take-
right outside of the van. Chuck is basically
Oh.
back to the van. You could go out of the back door of the van, and she is right there.
Yeah,
The van
I'll go
doesn't
on the
have a
back door of the van and just kind of like pop out and just like come down hard on the head with like the new baton.
Are you doing
beforehand
stun
kinda-
mode?
Yeah, I'll do stun mode.
Sweet. All right.
You know, let's have fun. We like to have fun here, you know?
Roll them bones.
I like to have fun.
Okay. Ooh. We got. Well, is that plus?
Ooh, I really hurt her. Ooh.
Is it plus?
Plus tough.
Okay, so just a 10.
Just a 10, which is a complete success, so I don't want to hear it. What is your bonus you are adding on top of it?
It is. Oh yeah, that's right.
Because she is going to hurt you back. You see her notice you, and she brings up the butt of the axe, and she levies it across your face as you're coming down on her.
Rude. What are those options? I'm sorry. I'm trying to get through this character sheet. And
You're good.
No, you didn't.
If you look at the very top of your character sheet, you should see kick some ass, and then there should be like a 10 plus little drop down.
Gotcha. See it. I will suffer one less harm.
Okay. You suffer one harm as she knocks you across the face with the butt of the axe. And you land right in front of her. Oh, actually, this is a good point. Do you want to instead, because we talked about this, do the stun effect on a 10 plus instead of taking less harm?
Oh, yeah. I'll do
Okay,
that.
so instead you take 2 harm, but she is...
Yeah.
You come down on her and just hit her square in the chest, and she just goes... and drops the axe and just falls to the ground.
Can I immediately take the axe?
Sure. Yeah, you have an axe in your hand. Why not? Chuck, you see this happen as this valiant woman comes out with a stun baton and whacks this person across the chest with it, knocking her off onto her
Valiant
feet.
Val.
Valiant Val, indeed. What are you doing, Chuck?
Chuck
What a
looks
short
over
form.
to Val and says, "Nice." Points to
Can
the
you hand
gun
me
down
my
and says,
coffee?
"Don't." Basically just warning, "Don't."
Roll to manipulate someone.
What am I adding to that?
That is plus charm, unless you have some fun effect.
Yeah, plus charm is not a good one for me. I don't know that I'm trying to be charming here. I'm more trying to just be...
Just for the rules of the game, my man.
Yeah, that's a 6.
Oh, Val, would you like to assist in bringing it up to a 7?
I would love to. I think, like, I just kind of, like... Is she on the ground now?
She is. You see that she's got her
just
hands
kind of
behind her.
like-
She's, like, looking up at you kind of worriedly.
I'll
But you
just
can
kinda,
see there's
like,
tears in
put
her
some-
eyes.
Yeah, I'm gonna like not too firmly, but firm enough, just kind of put a little bit of pressure from one of my Doc Martens on her shoulder of like, and
Sweet.
just kind of like give her a very knowing nod of like, that is what you want to do.
And if I'm not incorrect, I think you always roll a 10 on help out rolls because you're the
sure
coolest.
Power alert, baby.
Without bringing yourself into any danger, you bring this up to a mixed success, which means on manipulate someone, she just yelps out the word help, and that's all she can do, but she sits there on the ground under your boot, seemingly unmoving. On the other side, and you are looking down at all of this, Mary, in the heat vision of the turret on the top of the car. Raven and Adrian on the other side, you guys see this halfling man dive into the bushes near him, and you hear a similar vroom, vroom, and he hops onto another dirt bike and begins driving his way away from you in a southern direction, like southwest almost.
I thought you were going to say that he was driving in a southern way. I was like, what's that mean?
Howdy, y'all.
Very poorly.
Raven, fetch.
Yes, what do you two do in response to this?
I mean, Raven was already going to chase after him, so it's not
She was,
exactly.
she was already in half wolf form as far as I know. So
Yep.
it's like,
She's going full Wolfie, and she's going after him.
Sweet. You can run very fast.
Yes, I can.
So, Thomas,
Yes.
when Raven starts running, I'd like to hit her with a shield spell.
Okay. Roll to use magic. This could backfire. Oh!
Yeah, considering I rolled double ones.
Do you want to
Was
use
always-
luck to make it a 12? Or do you want to
Take the
give me
experience.
this gift as a DM?
You're gonna take
Look
that
at
away
how
from
needy
Thomas.
he is for that gift. Don't give it to him.
Yeah, no, I think I'll use my luck.
All right, it makes it a 12.
Bum, bum, ba-dum.
Wow.
everybody's gotta use at least one.
So the way magic works in this system is if you roll a full success, it just happens the way you wanted to. On a mixed success, things get bad. On a complete failure, things get very bad. You reach your hand out across your gun in almost a circular motion, and you see this sphere of arcane energy go around Raven as she just darts forward into the thicket of the woods and disappears from your sight. You have effectively
Well,
+1 armor.
I
And
also
while
get
they're
two,
doing all
I get
that,
2 armor as a benefit.
You get what?
I get 2 armor as a benefit.
Oh, wow. All right. This is a tactical shield spell.
Yeah.
while they're doing that, Adrian's gonna also swing around and start his sniper weapon,
All right.
so he can keep a bead on the motorbike guy.
Sweet. Raven, can you roll to act under pressure?
Oh no.
That was much better. That was a 10.
Sweet. So with a 10, he had a significant lead on you. On foot, you are able to get up to your max speed quicker than he can on a dirt bike. But he obviously knows the path he is treading here. You have never been in this area before, despite the fact that you have this natural instinct about you. You are able to keep up with him and just barely catch up to him by the time that he ramps over what looks like a small creek into a field filled with rotting sunflowers in front of you. You, at this point, you're not aware of how long you've been running by the time that you've managed to have caught up to him. But you feel like it's been a couple of minutes, and at your speed, that's quite a distance.
No, did I lose the opportunity to do anything on my turn?
What did you want to do? Because you said you were trying to target girl on the ground.
Yeah, and she's no longer a threat at all.
Is there anything else you wanted to try and do before I let him do his big getaway?
Oh, the only thing I was going to say is perhaps the system in the car could determine if, electronics start up, or if there's a motorcycle that starts up nearby, that allow me to kind of pivot and try and react to it.
I'll allow that at a -1.
That's great. I'll take failure. Failure makes me more powerful.
Means the car blows up.
Yeah, because I'm hoping to maybe shoot the motorbike on its way out.
Don't give me ideas.
No, I'm just.
So is that
I
an
don't want
act
that to
under
happen.
pressure?
That is a act under pressure.
Great, that's a -2.
Is that with the -1 I gave you?
Yes.
Sweet.
Ah, wonderful. It's a 4.
Oh, good.
No, stay on target. No.
You bring the cannon up and turn it in the direction of this motorbiker, and you ready a heat ray as it blasts forward. You set the temperature too high, and it starts to melt the front of the cannon, as well as hitting Raven in the back for a single point of heat damage, but the shield scatters it away that our good friend Chuck has placed on you so tactically, so efficiently.
And so embarrassed he had to run away.
Things begin to calm down as the woman in front of you tries to reach around for stuff and just sort of sits there underneath your boot. We will get back to you, Raven, and what happens on your end as I adjust this epic music. What are you and Chuck doing, Val?
I think I kind of like when I look down at her and like, can I see the same way that for our friend from last round or from last game, does she have any like wounds on her? Anything that I can notice now that I'm kind of like more up close and personal?
You see her left hand is missing 3 fingers.
That's right.
And her right is missing a single one. Looks like what was left is just enough for her to be able to effectively grip onto things. She's got her middle and thumb on the left, and she's just missing the ring on the right. And they look like they were chopped off cleanly and swiftly, but you look at the axe in your hand, and it has dark stains of blood along the blade of it.
Do the
very axe
wounds
she
on
was
her
wielding.
hand look old?
No, not old at all. And they are not wrapped.
Okay. I think Val's gonna just look down at her and kind of point at her hands and say, "Did somebody do that to you, or did you do that to you?"
She just nods.
Nod once if it was someone else, and nod twice if it was you.
She nods 3 times.
I get it. And kind of like nods to, of like, it's you, but it's not. And she's kind of starting to understand.
And you see that the tears are still running down her face. She's trembling, and obviously a trembly breath comes out of her, but she's not speaking at all. And she's just sort of sitting there.
Does Chuck have any reason to believe she's under magical compulsion?
Why don't you roll 2? I actually think, do you want to use the spell Detect Magic? Or do you want to instead use your knowledge of the arcane without using magic?
I guess do Detect Magic just because...
Okay. Then roll to use magic. And please, it'd be funny if you rolled bad again.
That is an 8 total.
Okay, on an 8, there is a glitch that occurs. Interesting. How long does the armor that you gave yourself last? Does it mention? It might not give some specific duration, but...
It just says when I protect someone, I gain 2 armor against any harm that's transferred. Against any harm that is transferred to me.
Oh, so only when you use the move protect someone, the damage that's transferred to you, you put up a reactionary shield against it. which makes sense. Just so you know. It's not like when you, as an action, protect someone, it's when you take the move protect someone, which is when someone else would be dealt harm, you can attempt to split it with someone else, reducing it for them.
Ah, okay. All right.
What I will say, though, is you reach out with your mind to look into whatever's going on in hers, and instantly a psychic backlash hits you square in the center of your brain, and you take 1 harm, ignoring armor, as you grab your head. And I don't remember if Chuck spoke to her earlier, but every time this person tried to speak, saying anything that seemed too in detail, she gripped her brain as if something inside of her own head was hurting her. And you feel that connection, that something is compelling her.
That depends. Was she the only one who was like that? Because I do remember someone like that. I don't.
Yes.
Okay, then then he has met her before.
Yeah. So that is what you know. You are very aware that something is arcanely compelling her to do what she is doing.
He looks up at Val and says, "We got rope. We're gonna need it."
I bet there's some on this car.
She nods hard when you say that. As you see her, the whole time she's been quietly trying to reach for what looked like a kind of sharper piece of wood from like a broken twig on the ground.
Can I use oops?
Sure.
And, like, maybe find like a cord or like, you know.
Yeah, you walk into the van and find
whatever.
some rope. Mary?
Sure.
Yeah, when you come into the van, I had to step away. I told you I had to step away once. I imagine I just shot Raven in the back.
You did.
Awesome, sweet.
But she had the shield spell on her. It dissipated across. Didn't do any
wonderful.
damage.
So when Val comes in, I'm gonna say, that's she can't tell you the truth, can she? I think I remember seeing her.
Mm-mm. She's trying. A little.
Here, can I join you? I have a theory.
Come on.
Okay.
A game theory.
Wait. Before anyone does anything, let's get her tied up, get her secured, and then we try this.
Yeah. We'll grab the rope, walk it around to the outside of the van, and Val will do her best to get her secured.
Sweet. Adrian, you follow with the scope on your rifle for a good distance into the brush before you are just unable to make out the form of either of them as they run. Do you give chase, or do you move to the other side of the van where your other party members are?
So I can't see either one of them.
At a certain point, they disappear into the distance of the trees. Like you're on a mountain.
I mean, I'm not going to leave the rest of the part. I mean, I know Chuck's got some skills, but the rest of them are, it's Mary and Val, for God's sake. No offense.
Oh, come on.
To mean? What's that supposed to mean?
No offense, they're just helpless,
She's got a metal bar, and it's Mary.
Hey, we're doing pretty well for ourselves.
So you walk around to the other side of the van to see they have tied up the same half-orc woman that you remember seeing yesterday.
Yeah.
The one who was looking for the person who you were sent to find, Mr. Oh God, what's his name? Did I forget my own guy's name? Harmon Riviera.
Harmon,
yeah. So, my theory, right? I pull out a light bulb that's connected to some kind of, electronic box. So, magic, right? It can basically act like electricity sometimes, and it can illuminate this bulb if in large enough quantities, like static electricity or like a potato lamp. But, just like electricity, we might be able to ground it in order to at least temporarily dispel whatever hold it has over her. Okay. Now, if Adrian lets me open up some of those fancy-looking boxes in his van, I might be able to find some equipment to help do that.
What fancy boxes? There's nothing in there you can't open. They're cabinets, for God's sake.
Well, I mean, I thought I'd ask. I consider us
Just
friends
basic-
now, Adrian.
That's
Just basic
good.
supplies. If you find something you can use it.
Wonderful, thank you. Because
And if it's classified, I'll have to shoot you.
I'm sure you plan on killing me anyway, for everything I know.
Not killing, no.
So, out of character, I have weird science.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Which I believe you made a quote-unquote magic item detector or magic aura detector
That's what the
last
light
session.
bulb
I
is.
know.
Yeah.
But now you're attempting to do weirder science.
Yes, and that failure leveled me up. It made me smarter. So I might be able to figure this one out.
Okay.
Val, I might need your hands here. Like a nurse during a surgery, you know. Scalpel, please.
Which Val did less than 24 hours ago. Do the same thing, but actually surgery.
Yeah. So great, wonderful. I'm gonna start rooting around and comedically throwing stuff out of cabinets.
Of course.
Like,
What else would you be doing?
yeah.
So like dodging in unison, just. Meanwhile, Raven's in a terrifying field of sunflowers. Just.
Great. I got a 9. Val, would you be willing to help me out?
Absolutely.
Okay. She doesn't have to roll.
That gets us to a 10.
Which is a complete success.
Yes, which it's still not perfect. So it requires huge amounts of power to fuel. So we're gonna have to hook it up to the van. We're gonna have to hook it up to the car battery, and it won't exactly work as I intended because I imagine
Nothing
Thomas
does.
can have a lot of fun with that.
Oh God. Okay, you are attempting to make a grounding rod for magic.
Dispel magic.
It's basically
rod.
a dispel magic grounding setup.
I'm so into this. I've never been into anything more.
While you decide, I'm going to describe what I'm doing here.
Okay.
So I've popped open the hood of the van. I've connected wires to the battery, and then I've got.
You do it wrong the first time, and they spark, and so you swap them.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm not paying that much attention. I'm smart, not wise. And I've hooked it up to basically this one little power capacitor that I found in one of the cabinets. And I've got from one, because I mentioned I brought some of my own stuff that I picked up at Domenico's.
Of course.
I've got what looks to be like some antenna that I stick into it. I had to open up the power capacitor and rewire it. And then I've got some tent pittons, like the things you stick in the ground, that I like hook to it to earth it. And then I hook up a clamp to the person themselves. But that's the last step.
Okay. Great. Good. And because she's sitting on the ground, she's grounded. So that's how electricity works, right? Yeah, hooking a person raw up to a car battery can't have any problems with it, but there's a capacitor in the way.
Yeah, no, trust me. And it's got magic doodads on it, too. So it's more likely the capacitor will blow up than she will be shocked.
Magic
Val knows so
doodads.
little
Just use
magic
the
that she's like, that's
defibrillator and
probably true. Like, yeah, sure.
Could
Does
you not
Chuck
just use
understand?
the defibrillator in the first aid kit? Why do you have to fry her with the battery?
No, it won't fry her. It'll de-fry her. You see, the fry...
It'll deep fry her. No.
We have to power the
Fry her.
capacitor. We have to power the capacitor, which then allows us to... Don't worry. It'll all make sense.
Okay, all I am saying, not to put any pressure on you, is Raven has vanished. She is no longer in our sight. I want to start following her. So do what you're doing and do it
Okay,
quickly.
fine. Somebody, start the car. We need the power.
Valerie, please start the car. I will watch this.
Chuck, I already know what your question is. You have full confidence in this.
So,
I open the
Did he
door.
recognize what she's doing?
You recognize this in some ways. You recognize components for what might be a dispel magic. What might be... Love the background change. Super sweet. But you're not exactly sure how it works because you've never seen technological arcane devices other than your gun anywhere before.
Chuck, in his mind, reassesses the threat level Mary presents.
Yes.
Threat level
She's-
Mary. Gotta look
She's
out.
much spookier than you first imagine when you see her in action.
So,
I
you
imagine it.
I lean back in the chair and then I just like turn the key.
I stand back, my hands are up, like, come on.
All right. You set this thing on the ground next to her, and she puts her hand out, and you clip this effectively car battery cable onto one of her few remaining fingers on her hand, and
no
you
problem.
see instantly all of the hairs on her head just go up and are like sitting on end all away from each other in like a huge fro. But she's
not
fine.
seizing up.
She's not
Okay.
seizing up. And
Alright,
and she
cool.
looks at you, and the tears stop, and she says, "Oh my God, what? You did it! I think he's out of my head. You have to help him. Bobby's innocent. He's got his wife and kid. He's got Amarok.
He who?
He's Hal.
Hal?
The thing. I don't know. It's weird. It's got 4 arms, lots of teeth. It's dangerous. I think it... I can't explain what's going on. If you know what's going on, you have to help." And it seems like it's only working while it's on her finger. If you try and unplug it, she instantly goes back to that solemn, quiet state. But when you plug it in...
Where is Hal? Do you
Bobby,
know?
wherever your friend went, I think he's leading her there. She's going to a trap.
And
Oh, we gotta go.
what is the whole deal with Amarok? You mentioned Amarok.
He was the guide, the guy who was... It's a
The
long
red-headed
story. You
guy?
just need to save his
The
life.
wizard guy from the thing.
Ah, the
Got
one
it.
that wasn't there that we were thinking about breaking into his place.
He's a good man.
Yep.
He's innocent. But you have to help Bobby's wife and Amarok. I think this thing put something in them. Go.
Mm.
Yeah, more surgery.
I'll
Just
come along to
one.
help, but I don't know how much help I'm gonna be.
No.
Mary, stay
none.
with her. Keep that thing on her. Damn.
Do we have? Yeah, can we leave the machine? No, we should probably take it.
No,
I mean,
she's
it might
hooked to
run
the
out of
car.
gas.
So
Yeah.
you actually notice the voltage meter on the dashboard of the car is starting to steadily go down.
I'll
Yeah.
turn it off once she like
Unplugs it.
gets to the point. Yeah.
Yeah,
I imagine
And then-
the
Well,
capacitors.
she's tied up, right?
she
Yeah.
is. She's
not
tied to the
going
tree.
anywhere.
Can we
I did
like
a tree.
shoot off a flare, to kind of like alert somebody behind us, like, hey, there's a person over here, kind of thing, and then we go
No,
forward
We're
in
gonna
the
have
truck.
to keep her tied up and take her with us. We need to go. We can't just leave her
I
here.
don't
She's
think-
a threat.
I don't think we should take her with us though either, because
She's already seen what we haven't. She's been under control of whatever it is we're chasing.
The more time you waste
windsock.
sitting here, the more time your friend has
Wait.
to die.
Great point. There's some morphine in one of the med packs. We can just knock her out.
Okay, just keep her tied up. Keep her seduced. Sedated.
Hello?
Chuck, keep her seduced, okay?
He's got that
So-
handled.
But we need to go. We need to go where Raven went.
Okay,
She's in danger.
let's go.
All right. So you guys, you do that. We don't need to roll for
I
anything.
hand Mary a pair of handcuffs.
Are we morphining her, or are we just leaving her put?
Right now, she's going with us. We're not leaving her.
Oh,
in the
okay,
woods.
okay.
You can keep
Um,
her sedated in the van and handcuffed in the van so she
When-
can't get away.
When
The
I-
van
when I
is
un-
not able to go
where
where
going.
Raven and Bobby went. They went in
Mhm.
big, thick, tall trees that
Okay.
are in the way. You're not going to be able to get the van going that way.
Have you
Right.
seen this? Have you seen this van?
There are trees, Pat. Does it have saws on the front of it?
It's four-wheel drive, you said.
That's you
Technically
can't
speaking,
drive
it's
over.
There's 6 wheels on.
tree.
Yeah.
I'd like to point out that the capacitor, when I'm unhooking her, nearly burns me
Alright.
because it's so warm.
Of course.
Then who's staying with the van?
Nobody. Who's
Nobody, we
gonna
gotta go.
take the keys? Does
So
this
we're
thing
just
not
gonna-
have an
so
auto
we're just gonna drug her and leave her in the woods, handcuffed in
We
the
don't
woods.
have to drug her. I think we could shoot off a flare and have like JR and Alice probably know to come head this way. And
I'm
They
sure
don't know what to do with her. She's like possessed.
I'm sure that you've done worse to people.
she's acted normal. normal in town. Like
She
she's not
looks up at
killing
you, Chuck, the
anyone.
only one not talking, and she says, "Oh God, just hit me." Yeah, she goes out cold.
Okay. Good. Go. Let's go. I start running.
I'm gonna take the morphine.
You're not taking the morphine.
Just right immediately.
Oh
You
goodness.
give her a quick shot of morphine, handcuff her so she can't do anything in the van.
Yeah.
Well,
You guys do all
Fire,
that.
and let's run.
great. I'm not wasting it. I'll leave it.
I've got my sniper rifle, my 9mm, and my trident with me.
You guys have and my trident. You guys have all of what you need. You start making your way down, and we will take a quick break as we get ready for the next part of our session. We'll be right back, guys. Because I have to go to the bathroom
do you
really
have
bad.
a way of tracking somebody with your magic?
You're fairly aware of where Raven went, so. But I will be right
there's
back.
spells like no direction and find object.
I also have a light bulb. Don't forget about the light bulb.
How could you forget about the light bulb?
That's what I'm saying. People
How do you
don't
consider
understand.
it the
Why don't you
light
put the
bulb?
light bulb on what's her name?
We can use. That'd be so good because Raven's inherently magical. We can connect it to her, and then she could always be bright.
Brilliant.
Thank you. I have
Deep
great
thoughts
ideas.
of Mary.
Can I smack somebody?
I'd like to see you reach up here and try, short stack.
Yeah.
How tall is Mary?
Like 7'5".
Oh God.
She's. Fear bolts are big.
She's an absolute
Adrian pulls
unit
out
of a woman.
The dagger trident,
Mhm.
pops the button, and reminds Mary of just what it
Val's in
can
the
do.
front seat, just like, can we all just get along?
See the violence inherent in the system. This is what the government suits have to do in order to keep everything
the
orderly.
violence will be inherent in your system. You don't knock it off.
Okay. Watery tards handing out swords is no basis for government.
It was not a watery tart. It was a watery warrior.
Did you just quote Monty Python?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, jeez.
I'll be right back.
Chocolate pretzels are the best snack.
Ooh. Ooh.
You notice
I mean,
that?
good
I didn't
snack.
mention a specific brand when I said that, right? It's really easy to generically mention things that exist in the world.
Like,
Like fast food
Meat
restaurants.
sandwich
Just
fast
for
food
example.
shop.
Like, for example, if we were talking about fast food restaurants, right? Like, that, I could go and say, just
Roast
any
beef
randomness.
store.
Yeah, roast.
I mean, I
beef curly fry store.
after our last Monster of the Week, I actually ordered some of this generic roast beef fast food place
Beautiful.
in honor of Monster of the Week. So
It's
I'm
the
gonna
best
buy
restaurant I
all
feel-
y'all. I'm gonna DoorDash Arby's to each one of you.
It's a
I would
shame
love
though,
that.
that store is shut down. It closed down after so little patronage.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
Yeah. All we
You
got
guys
now
were the
is
only ones who
tomatoes.
went, but that wasn't enough to keep it afloat. So.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's
We
really hot.
tried to
I'm gonna
spread
go
the
turn this
word, but nobody listened.
That's true. That's true.
It was
What a
very
shame.
the Lorax of, like, you know. I'm the
Roast
I'm the
beef.
Lorax of the Arby's.
That's true. I speak for the roast beef.
I hate it. You're just standing on, like, a package of, like, a lot of roast beef.
Oh God, please no.
Why is it? I know that, like, I did it this time, but it's like every time. It's a tradition at this point.
Here's the thing. You gotta understand. We're here to have a good time. We're here to laugh. And Arby's, it's got comedy.
Sometimes
They've
roast
got
beef
meat,
is funny.
They've got comedy.
That's true.
Evelyn's face of genuine, like, yeah, you're right. Roast
It's
beef could be
good.
funny sometimes.
I mean, they have gaming dice. What else can you have?
I
Like-
just want you to understand. Think of roast beef. Is it not somewhat just like funny?
It's
Just the
more
concept.
inherently comedic than, like,
Chicken.
a slice of ham.
Yeah.
Or, like, a slice of turkey. Not funny.
Are we
No.
talking about the comedic
Roast beef?
value of various deli meats?
Yeah,
Yes,
like
of course.
chicken is about the.
This ranking is very important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
chicken's like the least funny thing you can think of. But roast beef, that's a high tier comedic value.
But see, the thing
Tier.
about chicken
Tier
is
comedic meat.
the thing about chicken is though, if you make it rubber, that adds the comedy level, like brings it
True.
way
Yep.
out.
That's classic comedy, baby. That's what I'm talking
I
about.
have one word to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prosciutto.
Prosciutto. That's
What about gabagool?
Pretty good. That's also up there in S tier.
I think so.
Yep. No, Chandler actually found the right answer, I think. God, my face is very red now.
I mean, the Italians got it down with salami, gabagool.
Yeah.
Your
all
face
those
is red.
things.
You got pepperoncini.
Fair, Pat, fair.
Pepperoncini.
That's a pepper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, you can put it on a sandwich for fun.
Yeah, but if we're
Anybody
just getting into
here-
sandwich toppings, now we're getting into a whole broader category of
Oh
comedy.
gosh.
God, guys, we should start a podcast.
Okay.
I've got to send this. So I volunteered recently for.
Oh, we get it. You're a good person.
That's not what I'm talking about. God, what was it? We ordered like 80 Papa John's pizzas, and here's the thing: not a one had the peppercini pepper in it, but there was a small box to the side that I thought was just like a brownie. When I opened up the small box, it was
Chock-a-block.
80 peppercini peppers in aluminum
Did you say
foil.
chocolate block?
Chock-a-block peps all the way up, all the way down. It's peppers all the way down.
Very unclear that you listen to McElroy content.
Yes.
So
Oh, very clear. But I used to work at Papa John's, so I know all about the mysterious ways of the pepperoncini.
The peppercini.
peppers. That's a singular.
Yeah.
Trademark Thomas Roberts pepperoncini.
The pepperoncini. You can
Yeah.
call me Lord Pepperoncini. I've been playing a lot of Elden Ring recently. It's a great game.
Perfect. I just
Are
sent
there
it in the
pepperoncini
group.
in it?
No, but there's actually a lot of food in it for some reason. All right.
There's a lot of peppers.
There are a lot of peppers.
A lot of
We're
peppers.
going to go back to people looking at our beautiful faces as we talk about this hilarious topic.
Peppers? Or just
Peppers. Meat in general. I think meat is
Yeah, let's
meat
ask
is really
the
funny.
chat. What's the funniest
Yeah.
meat
What's
they
the
can think
funniest
of?
meat? Yeah.
Hey,
Hey guys.
Evelyn, can you make a poll for?
No.
Please, actually, can you actually make a poll?
No.
Ah, darn.
I'm not making a meats poll. That's
Chandler, you're distracting from my narrative.
Okay,
Fine,
sorry,
I'm
I'm breaking
fine.
the immersion.
My immersion. All right. Okay. So, Raven. According to the background you have so lovingly put behind you, you stand before a as the valley kind of comes down to this base of the mountain that you're at. You see in front of you a cliff face that rises hundreds of feet. And there's a small sort of outer ring of water. I'm actually gonna... Why don't I move you on the map to be able to see what I'm talking about? Because, after all, we're playing D&D, right?
No.
I've heard. In a way.
You see this outer ring of water that lies before this field of overgrown, swollen sunflowers. Occasionally there are some that grow as tall as 8 feet up into the air with massive, like 4-foot diameter heads that the sun is in a completely different direction than where all of them are pointing, because each one of them is pointed toward if you're looking on the map, the northern opposite end where a cave mouth appears. Each one of these flower heads.
Windsock farm.
Yeah, pretty much. As you look, you can see each of these flower heads look exactly like the ones you saw in your vision. That faces caved in, rotting from the inside out. And you can see crossing the river up onto your side of the embankment, the roots of these sunflowers are thorny and large and appear to be crawling their way out of this valley into the forest beyond. As Bobby has shut his engine off, and you hear silence and a small breeze coming out of the mouth of the cave is the only thing, other than some vultures which fly high overhead, and a couple roost in nests along the cliff wall in front of you.
Are those vultures, Thomas, or are they the rocks that we saw long ago?
You never saw rocks. They were just vultures that you saw.
Oh, big vultures. Okay.
Yeah, you do actually notice some of them are quite big. Weirdly big.
B-E-G, or is it B-E-E-G? Yeah.
Yeah, it's too easy. What is Raven doing?
And Raven lost sight of the guy.
Yeah, and the sunflower field. Have you been to a sunflower field before, Evelyn?
I have not been to a whole field of sunflowers.
Okay.
No, I've seen them growing.
They grow quite close to each other, and these are quite large, and for your height, you cannot see even 5 feet into this field. And you have no idea where Bobby just went. It is obvious that you are at a disadvantage here compared to him.
She can't smell them?
You can smell direction. I will grant you that. But it is a faint smell over the very, very oppressive smell of rotting vegetation.
Right.
I will also say, well, actually, while Evelyn is mildly distracted, what are you guys doing as you make your way there? What sort of preparations, plans are you making, knowing that your friend is walking into some sort of a trap?
Since Evelyn's distracted, I will ask for her. Can she smell the smell of the motorbike exhaust better than she can smell the smell of Dinky Gnome Man?
In this field, it's hard to tell. But in terms of what you guys are doing, what's up?
I've got my camera out.
Good to know.
I think at some point, probably just as kind of like a marker on the way back, I think I would just like, no, I guess I'll just keep that axe on me. I don't see why not. What could go wrong? I think
Nothing,
I'll just kind
right?
of like, nothing. Falling
Does
on
she
the
say
axe.
that out loud?
Oh. Yeah. I think Val's like, what do I do? And then just kind of like slips it into a belt loop and is like, that'll be fine. And we'll just kind of have like the baton ready in hand and have like the stun feature like on and prepped.
Chuck takes a look
think-
at Val playing with the axe and says, "You do realize that the last person who used that axe probably used it on themselves?"
Take it out of my belt loop and I just put it on the ground and then keep running.
On our way, do I notice any animals like squirrels or birds in the trees?
Yes, you are the best. You see voles, squirrels, and beavers most commonly.
Great.
Rodent
how far away?
animals, particularly.
There are a lot of rodents. These rodents do not migrate.
As you make your way further and further down this valley, you see the trees appear to have been cut down for no apparent reason, with limbs and logs strewn along the ground.
This is horrible for the beaver population.
Many of them appear to have an odd chew pattern that looks like waves and curves carved into the wood.
Oh, the beavers did this. Do I see any beavers like in the animal, not the evidence of the beaver? This is important.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
What
like,
do you?
I
Why?
imagine they're not just like chilling. You
No,
can
I mean,
get an ability.
Oh,
that I have.
that's right. You can freaking talk to them.
Yeah.
You can also technically talk to plants. To be
Yeah,
fair.
I can, but plants are really not that helpful.
Hey, we'll be the judge of that. All right.
Yeah.
What do you say? You see a beaver running
I
away
imagine-
from you.
Yeah, because they're not going to sit around. I'm going to kind of cut my hands. You all don't know what I'm doing. And yell after the beaver. Hey, bud, what's going on here? But come on, I know you can hear me.
I love this.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps running away because you can't understand what they say.
Yeah, no, but I'm still gonna yell after it. Why are you holding out on me? Have you seen Suzanne the bear?
Yeah, you yell,
You're
and it starts
complicit.
running faster away from you than it was.
You're complicit. You're complicit if you don't help. I'm
Thomas?
becoming manic now.
What does it sound like to us when Mary is doing all of this?
Probably just words, right?
It sounds like words with a weird accent and some mild chirps in between, like Dory trying to do whale speech.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's a great pull. Excellent reference.
And you do see when you say complicit, it does stop for half a second, look back at you, and then keep running away.
Yeah. I'm sure I got under its skin.
I rolled to read a bad situation while he was doing all his chattering.
You know, Pat doing something effective with his time.
I rolled a 10.
This is effective.
I rolled a 10.
All right, so that's 3 questions, right?
10. Yeah.
What do you want to ask?
Are there any dangers we haven't noticed as we're running through the...
As you're running through, no. You are unaware of dangers that lie ahead, but on the path to, you get the feeling that there is nothing strictly in this area that is a threat to you.
And the next would be, what's my best way?
And also, to be fair, you do not have to use these hold now. You can choose to use them when you get to the field of sunflowers or wherever you're headed.
I'm going to hold on to one, but for
so
right now, it's like,
with what's my best way in, you will not lose track of Raven, and you will make your way all the way to her. You in fact find a creek at one point, and you see a couple of does Raven wear shoes? Okay, a couple of paw prints.
She's halfling because so she never wears shoes.
Oh, great. Yeah, I did that on purpose. You see some paw prints that look Raven-esque along that creek in the mud as you make your way south.
Some animals are just real jerks. They just move into the neighborhood and then they just aren't helpful. I don't get it.
Was there anything... Chuck, did you say you were doing something?
No. It was just a comment to
Great.
to Val suggesting that carrying the axe may not be a good idea.
Sweet. All right, and Pat, are you going to hold on to that last hold?
Yeah.
Great. All right. What's up?
Do I think that it would be, like, in terms of, like, as we're running and kind of, like, listening, am I still hearing, like, am I hearing the sound of a fight, or am I hearing the sound of, like, any distress at the moment, or is it just, like, quiet other than our footsteps?
Eerily quiet.
Okay. I think, like, Val would just kind of yell out, like, ahead of, like, just a quick, like, Raven, we're right behind you. Wait for us. We're coming.
Okay. I will keep that in mind.
Just kind of alert her, let her know.
Great. You do feel as you're running down a slight breeze coming back up, and at one point as you are making your way down, you do begin to smell that gardener's smell of rotting vegetation.
You know, if I had to guess, I bet those beavers are complicit. The Faerun can control lesser animals, and I think he might be trying to destroy, or she, I don't want to assume the gender of the Faerun, but I had a feel. I just have a feeling. You think that I'm crazy. You think I'm crazy, but I'm not.
I love Adrian's continued attempts to just stop Mary.
Gaslighting.
I think, like, I grab her by, like, the shoulder almost, and I'm like, I don't think you're crazy. And I just keep running. Like,
Sweet.
like there's
Love
just a brief moment where I, like, stare her dead in the eye, like, and I'm like, no one's saying that.
I don't think he's crazy. She's crazy. She's just annoying.
Raven, you are at the foot of this forest of sunflowers in front of you, with a hint of a direction in where Bobby went. What are you doing? You want to read a bad situation?
Well, I was gonna say, so when she arrives here, she initially is still kind of being controlled by her wolf instincts, but taking in the scene of all of the sunflowers after her dream, she kind of actually is like
a bit sobering.
Stops back.
Yeah.
And yeah, she wants to read a bad situation.
Great.
No. Let's see, that's
Can Raven
adding.
hear the sounds of us crashing through the woods behind her yet?
We will get to
Are
that.
we that close? Lassie! Lassie, where are you?
We need a dog whistle is what we need.
I got a 7.
We do.
So that is one question.
Yes. Let's
Man, there's a good number of ones that you could ask.
Yeah. It's like, why do I keep coming to this game? Oh, no.
So for people who haven't played Monster of the Week before, for each of these, Investigative Mystery and Read a Bad Situation, those are your two kind of mental roles that you make. There are a bank of questions that you get to ask. Evelyn is looking through, what's my best way in? What's my best way out? Are there any dangers we haven't noticed? What's the biggest threat? What's most vulnerable to me? And what's the best way to protect the victims? She gets to ask one of those.
All right. Let's see. Well, I wasn't there to know that the thing has the other people because I had already run off by that point. I could ask that
You
one.
also do not know that this is a trap.
Yes. So are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
You take a moment in that sobering moment of seeing your nightmare brought real in front of you, and you open your senses to the foul air around you to attempt to gain any other scent or sound other than the eerie silence and the slight breeze that you get. And directly forward into this field, you hear the sound of rustling going to your right and a slight growl that sounds kind of liquidy in its base. And you look up to see the vultures. All of them are looking directly at you. In the weird way that a bird does. Of each of them are at a different angle than their body, but all of their heads are trained straight onto you. You get the feeling there are some things, more than one, waiting in the flowers before you. And one of them is probably a little big. Very good question.
No, it can't.
In that case, she is going to preemptively. She is going to. What was that?
Thomas.
She is going to cast Anti-Magic Field.
Centered where?
On in the direction that he
Chandler, what was your question?
Oh, let Evelyn finish. It was just a personal thought.
She wants to center it in the direction that she kind of where she thinks the gnome had headed.
Okay.
So by best assumption, center it there.
Okay. All right. So
radio program.
Roll plus weird.
All right.
And
so just 2d6 plus weird.
2d6 plus weird. And you are using the use magic move.
Alright, and technically, I realized I should have, because of my premonition things, I should have been taking a +1 forward for everything, because I'm trying to stop myself.
Yes, I do not believe that would have changed any rolls, to be fair.
No. Yeah, but I just... Yeah.
Good to keep in mind, though.
Plus weird, that is 13.
Yeah! Okay. The magic works without issue. You don't exactly see it.
She doesn't
You
wear
more
shoes.
smell it. You take the... You're wearing gloves, right? Because this does require you to handle silver and iron dust.
Yeah.
You take those ingredients out and in whichever way you choose to cast this spell, toss them forward, and you see them glint across the sunlight for but a moment and then disappear into a sphere that you can smell the iron powder from a distance. You know where this circle that you've laid is, and you have successfully cast that spell.
Alright. And now she's just going to listen, see if perhaps the others followed her since
It is about this point that you hear that Raven echoing loudly across the cliff face in front of you. It almost sounds like it's coming from in front of you before you hear it again come off from behind you.
Alright, so she just kind of stands in a ready position. She can actually feel the muscles in her body kind of like tightening, ready to just kind of spring forward and charge to whatever next, but she's holding position until everyone else is there.
Okay. Sweet. You all arrive. That happens without issue.
As we're kind of rolling up, I think Val would begin to be aware of the fact for the first time as like adrenaline's kind of calming down a little bit of the fact that she has 2 harm and like is doing okay, but like probably won't be soon enough, and we'll kind of like look to Adrian and have like check the like blood on her face and be like, did you bring a med kit? Mary, you still got that morphine?
No, he told me not to bring it.
No,
Okay,
I said
okay.
you couldn't take the morphine.
You just sound like a party pooper, Adrian.
Yeah.
But I think would kind of ask for some help before
Adrian,
they head.
Adrian sees Val looking a little shaken, and he will attempt to do a field medic on her.
Sweet. Make that roll.
To find it. Hang on.
Mary will have her camera out and just be looking around.
Plus cool. That's
because we did come into this knowing that this was a ambush.
You see,
True.
A lot of the fruit-bearing bushes around you are half-eaten and wilting.
Disgusting. This is probably the wintertime bugs that have come too early. I know about this. I've been tracking it.
Like, you're making sense. Like,
I've only ever made sense.
I pass out clues. Mary
Not
gobbles them up.
Mm-hmm.
Processes them.
turns them into knowledge.
Yes.
While Mary's busy impressing Valerie, I heal her of 2 and stabilize her wounds.
Can you do both?
As you
Yes,
finish,
you ask every time.
just pull them into a big hug. I think she, like, as she pulls away, she's like, Adrian, you really look out for us, and
On a
that means
10
a lot.
plus, the patient is stabilized and healed
You're
of
right.
2 harm.
I ask because it's really good.
I know, because like every time I hit you,
all right, you guys see Raven standing opposite a small creek, which the water in the creek, now that you look down at it, appears weirdly yellow, and it's bad, and it is running out of
yellow water?
2
It
openings
used to be snow.
in the
Oh no.
2 openings in the mountain around you as it runs toward you. And you see her standing there, wolfed up, kind of.
Oh.
She turns her head toward you, knowing that you're coming because she can hear you. What do you guys do?
Wolfed up.
Wolfed
Is
up.
it possible to cross
She
through
can
the
hear
trees?
Mary, 7'5", crashing through the woods. That's weird.
Chuck, it
She's
is
so
no
stealthy.
problem crossing the river. Are you particularly wanting to not touch it?
Yes.
Okay, the roots of the trees nearby allow that without issue.
Okay.
So you guys can...
over near Raven.
I'm just taking pictures of everything.
Adrian's taking out the dagger and extending it to full trident.
Sweet. Tring!
Yep.
Cool.
He
Maybe-
has a plan.
Maybe all of this blight was brought to the area to make it a place that's more fitting for a Faerun. Almost like terraforming that the aliens do or try to do.
The Fatum like sunflower seeds.
No, I'm just saying that, like, a Faerun is, like, awful, right? So it would want to make everything around it awful, too.
Interior
It's kinda
design.
like-
That's a weird stereotype and offensively discriminatory.
Are you really trying to defend a being of pure evil?
I let you ride with me, do I not?
Listen, all I'm saying, hear me out, is that
Hey, I've
Gary
had enough.
Gygax.
Raven, are you okay? You seem a little freaked out. Are you okay? Have you been hurt? Do you need help?
It's here. It's here. The dream is here.
Thing in your dream?
It's here. It's this place.
The flowers in front of us or farther in?
No, this.
I think like hearing Raven say that, Val like kind of like take her shoulder, lean in like towards the ear and just go, differences, we're here for you. You're not alone this time.
You guys hear a voice ring out saying, "Well, why don't you come on out and fight?"
I don't you. Boo.
Why don't you show your squatty little self instead of hiding behind trees and shooting people?
These are the last steps you're gonna make, crossing that river.
I only need one step.
Raven will say before they go on. Raven will say, "There's more than just him up there.
I could take you all on.
Know a lot."
Be careful. Gary Gygax had a term for places like this. He called them a lair, and the monsters have unique interactions with them. Almost like they're tuned into it.
You hear the man say, "This gun's got 6 chambers. I only need 5 for each
Did
of
we get
you."
the name of orc girl we zapped?
You did not.
Way to go, Mary.
Well,
Dumbass.
no. I don't see why you wouldn't have asked her in the interrogation or whatever. Her name is Anna
Well, she
Nguyen.
gave their names.
Yeah.
So I was kind of things like, remember, this is the person who is also no longer under their own control. So we try not to hurt them too much, if you know what I mean.
I will say, Pat, she did say that her
Subdue
name
them.
was Anna Nguyen, which, if no one knows how to spell that, is Nguyen.
And, yeah.
I'm gonna take a step behind one of the tree stumps or remaining trees.
Okay.
I'm taking
Hell of a
cover.
time
is
to
what I'm
start
saying.
hugging trees.
Shut up! Do your thing.
I
don't wanna
agree.
get shot.
It's time to come on out.
Okay. Has he shown himself yet?
No,
or is he
absolutely
still hiding
not.
behind?
You
Okay.
do, Raven, you can pinpoint exactly where he's at. He is right amidst your anti-magic field currently, as if he is unaware that he is in it.
Yeah,
Because
Raven's gonna
Adrian's
actually just
getting ready to trident out.
Raven's just gonna actually point in the direction that she casts the anti-magic field. She's not gonna say anything, but she's just kind of signaling to the others so that they know.
She just kind of goes, maybe.
Adrian's gonna pull on his Infernal Legacy thing, and he's gonna do the same thing with the trident that he did against the dude. Just slam it into the edge of the water toward the field and basically chill.
Or are you trying to, like, send icy water up into the field?
I'm trying to freeze things in a cone in front of me.
Okay. Yeah, I'm into that. Why don't you roll to use magic? And because you said you're using your Infernal Legacy, you can take +1.
Use magic. I'm not seeing use magic.
It's just plus weird.
No. I have no weird.
While he's getting that ready, I'm fiddling with stuff in my bag to create chaos later, just so you're aware.
Pat, you need to
That's
stop.
an 11.
You are on
That's
a
an 11.
horrifying roll. Yes.
Well, because my weird is -1, but you said +1, so that was just a straight zero it out.
Nice. So
I rolled an
you
11.
take the trident in a similar way that you did last time. What effect are you wanting to create here in this field?
Well, Raven just pointed out where she feels this guy is.
Okay.
So I'm basically facing toward that person and just slamming it into the ground and hoping that it does the same thing that it did with the water guy.
Sweet.
And just freeze a nice path.
Yeah. You
through the
slam the
sunflowers.
staff down, and you see the water come from behind you and reach to the tip of the trident, and a burst of cone of cold shoots forward from the staff, trident, currently being used as a staff, directly in the direction of this man, which that circle I've drawn on the map, which I think you guys can see, is approximately where he is, and you hear him just sort of shriek in fear for one, and then pain for another as this cold rushes over him, and then all of the sunflowers around it wilt away, and you see now, let me bring his token up to your lair. This man, Bobby, standing there with his Colt aimed in your direction, sort of shaking, and he takes a shot right back at you. Roll to act under pressure. Yes, Raven.
I was gonna say, to be fair, would the effect of the spell actually go into the anti-magic field?
That's a good point! It wouldn't.
So it would
He
hit all the
sees,
sunflowers before
but he is clear. He you can see him now. He just didn't take any damage from that. Thank you, Evelyn, for keeping up with the rules. He does level a shot at you. He says, "Thanks for the line of sight." Bang. Roll to act under
He
pressure.
says the word bang.
He says bang.
Embarrassing.
For him.
I say
9.
cringe.
Oh
With a-
no, he's smitten.
With a 9, you duck out of the way, but you are prone on the ground.
If somebody helped me, wouldn't that make it a 10?
Someone could help you, yeah. Would you like that? Who?
Chuck.
Yeah.
I'm not
shoulder
touching
check
him.
him into the
Chuck's a
like.
fellow sharpshooter over there, so I'm gonna ask him to help.
Oh, all
Oh,
right.
yeah, that's true. I'm
Absolutely.
farther away. Anyway.
Yeah, you guys can move yourself wherever you want on the map,
Now
by the way.
you can help me if you want.
So-
We've got
so,
some fun stuff coming up.
We can do
Chuck,
that.
why don't you
Oh,
roll
yeah,
to help
yeah.
out, which I believe help out is plus cool? Am I correct in saying that?
I can double check.
Help out is plus cool. Help out is plus cool.
For help out, is it 1 or 2d6?
Always 2d6.
Oh,
Never
always
not
2d6.
2d6.
All right, cool.
Never not.
Never not.
That is a 9.
Sweet. That does bring him up to a 10. So you push him out of the way, and in doing so, the bullet kind of catches you in your duster, and knocks you to the ground with the force of it. So instead of him being knocked down, you are knocked down. And suddenly, and with a swiftness, a very, very large, horrifying-looking bear jumps out directly at you, Raven. Maw forward.
Go hug your friend.
Its mouth looks like it's been contorted and twisted. Its paws seem to have extra claws coming out of the top of it, and it dives toward you. I need you to roll to kick some ass.
Suzanne, no. She's not well.
The bear jumped out of
Certainly not.
That's unholy.
What was that,
The
Rob?
bear jumped out of where?
Out of the sunflowers. It dove through.
That's a 12.
A 12? Which
Yes.
extra effect are you wanting to apply? Why don't I get some combat music going?
Bear
Extra
explosion.
effects.
Go for bear explosion.
Yeah.
Which extra
see
move
it on the
kills
list.
bears?
I see there's an extra move that says the bear blows up. It's
Oh, weird. That's weird that that's there.
Oh,
No,
weird.
don't kill the bear.
I want to suffer less harm.
Okay. Yeah, great. So the bear, suffer less harm. The bear comes at you with its claws, and you grab its paws and gnash into it with your mouth, and it deals no harm to you. And you stand there sort of holding a bear at bay as a halfling, this horrifying brown bear, very big, being held back by Raven as she sort of grows almost a foot in size at just that. What is everyone else doing in this moment?
Help her.
All right, Chuck, you're on the ground. What are you doing?
He's having fun.
So I guess my first question is, Chuck saw that the thing just disappeared, right? So the spell effect, the cone of cold.
Yes, that around what sort of looked like a sphere around Bobby, there is apparently no magic can get in there.
And he can see the sphere?
No, but you are aware of it because a cone of cold hit it, and you can very clearly see where it ended.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say is, like, you don't actively see the sphere, but you know where it is.
Well, yeah, but the problem is I kind of need to know where the edge is. Actually, because what I want to do is a little tricky without actually knowing where the spot is, because I can do it almost exactly.
Well, tell me what you want to do.
I want to throw a wall of fire circling the anti-magic sphere.
Oh, yeah. You can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care if he's got anti-magic in there.
The frost. You can see the frost kind of.
Yeah.
I would imagine on the field, like around the circle.
You can see the mark.
It's gonna get a little hot in there.
Roll to use magic, my man.
That is a 9 plus 12.
A ton for you. Yeah. How do you cast this spell?
He gets up, not even
quickly.
standing up, points, says, "My turn."
Bam! And a line of fire exits your gun, and as it hits the base of the sphere, it whoosh circles around the whole thing. And you see him just go, "What the?" and back up as he takes a reactionary shot in your direction. You take 2 harm as a bullet grazes your shoulder, but he is now stuck in this fire, apparently unable to get out unless he wants to get burned.
So it's 2, so it'd be 1 with the enchanted clothing?
Yes, 1 with the enchanted clothing. And it is at this that you guys hear a deep, raspy, gurgly howl echo throughout the valley that you're in, and exiting from the
Raven?
edge of... It is not Raven. Exiting from the edge of the field, you see 2 wolves that look gnarled and horrifying begin to make their way up towards you. And Val, 1 comes right up onto you, and Mary, 1 makes its way right around the back, going toward you. What are you guys doing in response to that?
Oh, I had a plan in for this.
You know what they say about plans.
Wolves.
You make them and God laughs. I think isn't that?
I think that's the one,
Arabian
yeah.
quote? Yeah. I'm almost done with this contraption, which is this pressurized air canister that is hooked up to an intake junction and then a pipe that I've stuffed what looks to be netting and heavy ball bearings in. And I have a thing called "It's a Trap."
The things I have to deal with when I play games with Chandler.
Yeah. And I'm gonna
You
roll.
asked him to be here.
I did! I invited him.
I'm gonna have to roll for it on the wolf.
Okay, first of all, is Chandler facing any of us at all before he sets this thing off?
Well, we'll see how the roll does, huh?
Yeah.
Mary's
So
all the way in the back too.
yeah, I'm trying to shoot at the wolf now because it is causing me the most stress.
Yeah. It's a bad looking
Think so.
wolf.
Yeah, it's a bad wolf.
There's a cute
that's a
picture of him
10.
in the chat. Not in the chat, in our
Sweet.
chat, Discord.
What does that
on
mean?
On a 10 plus.
Yes.
So it works. On a hit, you capture something. I can choose an extra effect, which is it will take some time for it to get free, which I
Great.
imagine may be the scene, or it can be reset and reused later. So it's a question of do I want to reuse this trap because it's probably going to get out. No, de-wolf. We're going to de-wolf the situation. I'll find another solution to a future
If at all
problem.
possible, use a de-wolfer.
Yeah, so it just I imagine it just wraps the
Robot
wolf
wolf.
Yeah,
up.
you just hear, "Oh!" as it gets hit by the ball bearings and wrapped up its paws. Yeah, but it's a demon wolf. Like, I mean... It falls down into the water, and you do see the water starts to kind of eat away at it a little bit. It's mildly acidic water. Yeah, it's a bad thing to look at. Val, what are you doing?
I think, like, as I see it run off, I'm like, bad dog! And then just, like, baton down directly onto nose.
Yeah.
Like, unacceptable. Do not want to look at. I would guess, too, that...
is our UPS driver.
Dog. Yeah, bad dog. Would you say that I could gain a +1 forward from either doing what could go wrong, which is charging into immediate danger, or using variety in all things, which is when you do something you haven't done before?
I think this is the first time you've bopped a wolf on the nose for running at you. I don't think you ran into immediate danger. I think immediate danger ran into you. So I don't think you get both, but I think as a human, you can call this a new experience.
Yeah, this is a little new. I probably, met some dogs that are cool, but not cool
roll to kick some booty.
Way. It's 10 total.
Oh, good.
9
so what is your
original.
extra effect? Do you want to stun it, or?
Would stunning it basically just, like, take it out of the fight for a round?
Essentially. Potentially more, but...
Okay. I think I'm just gonna do additional harm.
Okay.
So...
You knock it out cold.
Okay, great.
That was probably a good decision based on the amount of harm I gave these things.
Can I play that?
Yeah, like, just bad dog, just a quick bop, and then it's just like, and she's like, looks up at Adrian and is like, good weapon. Like, yeah, and I think, like, kind of, like, flourishes it a little bit, and then, like...
Its paws were in the water, too, so that did not help the effect.
Like a baton, like a cheerleader.
Yeah.
Yeah, very up, and then, like, I think probably was on cheer for, like, a semester, didn't like it.
Yeah, for sure.
But tried her best.
So
and
Adrian...
then, like, looks over at the bear and is like, you're next, big boy.
Oh, Adrian, you are face-to-face with Raven on this bear. What are you doing?
Well,
she's got it held.
Raven?
Yeah, looking at the map we've got.
Okay, because I thought I was still facing the dude that...
Well, you are, but there's a big bear right next to you. There's no getting around that fact.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not even looking at the map. All right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I've still got the trident out.
Yep.
So I'm basically just going to.
Yeah, its stomach is wide open. Yep.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go right underneath the jaw.
Go for it. Roll them bones.
Am I kicking ass or acting?
You are. I think you are kicking ass.
Oh, damn, Tom.
Some may say.
Let's see. Roll plus tough, so that's like plus 50 because I'm a badass.
So true.
And that's just barely a 10.
God, you are doing very good. What extra effect would you like to apply to this?
Extra effect? Oh.
You can take less harm, deal more harm, give +1 forward to yourself or another hunter, or move it where you want it.
Okay, all right, yeah.
And also, how much harm does your weapon deal when you get a chance to tell me that?
The trident, you haven't told me, so I don't know.
I think it deals 3.
Okay.
If I haven't told you yet.
Let's just go ahead and inflict terrible harm.
All right.
So, +4.
So it takes you stab this thing right in the gut, and as you rip the trident out, you see a couple of intestines spew out as it looks. No! Oh no! The bear, it's innocent of this.
You didn't want this.
And it growls in response, pushes off of your hands, Raven, and brings its weight down onto you. You take 2 harm and are knocked flat onto the ground.
Okay, so that's 1 harm because I've got my armor. And actually,
your battle awareness, you take no harm, but you are pinned underneath this thing. It's full weight on you, and if it bites you, you do not want that to happen.
Have you ever seen The Revenant?
That's when I look over to Val and go excuse me, stick lady.
Stick lady.
Raven, what are you doing?
She's a bit of a stickler.
Well, seeing
She's stunning.
Yeah, your
seeing-
friend's attacked. A lust fills
Yeah.
your blood.
seeing Adrian now.
I don't think I said that right. Anyways.
A wordsmith.
Thomas
Oh my
kisses
God.
one. Thomas kisses ear to once, and it's all about romance
Twice
and lust
now.
now.
It's twice now.
It is twice. That is true.
But anyway, so seeing this, seeing Adrian now pinned under this bear that Raven was just kind of holding at bay, she immediately leaps onto the bear's back and tries to get it off of Adrian.
You go wrestle a bear? We gonna do some bear wrestling?
Why not? I'm a werewolf. Let's do it.
Why don't roll them bones?
Wolverine.
Roll plus tough. Or I think you can actually roll plus weird when you're doing attacks,
Yeah,
right?
that's my unnatural strength, I believe is what it's called.
Yeah,
Or
something
unholy
horrifying.
Strength. Unholy strength. Oh, that's really good. That's 13.
Yeah.
Gosh.
How much harm do you deal?
Well, it's 3 and I ignore armor.
Oh,
Well.
so you take the bear. Okay, it's gonna have to deal harm to you, but it reaches its mouth up as you're coming up and bites into your shoulder for 2 harm. And
Am I still shielded from?
you are not. That effect
Okay.
has dissipated.
Then she's gonna my vitality, my unquenchable vitality. 1 second.
Sweet.
Put the blood back in your body.
I did for 2, so it just is.
Sweet.
It's internal bleeding. That's where the blood's supposed to be anyways.
Yeah. You're totally right.
Fine,
You're totally right.
Yeah.
As it bites you, you use that kind of force to wrap your arms around its neck and take all of your weight down onto your back paws and slam this thing pro wrestle style into the river and hit
Just
it
how big
right
does she
on the
get when
head
she
like
goes into werewolf
RKO,
form?
and it just.
Off the top rope with Raven. She's out
Susan!
It is knocked out, but it is mildly disemboweled.
You don't come back from that.
And you do
Mildly?
a few wild shots come out from the fire. Chuck and Val, can both of you roll to act under pressure for me?
there. Yeah.
Sure.
Shortly.
might not be good.
I'll be right back.
You're good.
Is plus cool. That would be 7.
Uh,
Okay.
that is a 5.
Ah!
Unless not my fault happens here.
No, there's no way. One of the bullets does manage to hit you in the forearm on your left hand. Thank goodness, not your shooting hand. But Val, you do it. A bullet grazes you. And it doesn't actually graze you. It hits the stun baton right in the battery pack as it
Oh.
is in your hand, and you drop it as the shock escapes from the battery all at once. The weapon is
Okay.
disabled currently, shot through.
Currently, I see how.
I mean, it can be fixed later. I don't think you want to try and fix it now.
But the shock has been disabled currently.
I mean, yeah. Oh, I see. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Ah, ha, ha, ha.
I
But
take 2 harm from that joke.
but you don't take any harm from the shot, and
Okay.
you will hear Bobby shout from the fire. Listen, you're gonna die here, whether it's by my hand or by his. And you hear him just sort of scream in pain, and that's all you hear as silence fills the valley again.
Is the anti-magic shield still up, or has it gone?
It
down?
is. What are you guys doing in response to what
So
he just
anti-magic
said and
shield
potentially
won't stop
did?
a bullet, right?
Can we see him?
No, he is. There is opaque fire, covering the entirety of what you assumed he was in, and you heard him
Do we
sort
have
of
any
screech
vision?
in pain.
Yeah, do you have any reason to believe that he decided to step into the fire?
You specifically have pretty good reason to think that he probably jumped through the fire.
Ah, well, in that case... yeah,
How much harm does that deal, by the way?
50.
Going through the fire?
Yeah. I think it's 2.
Hold on. That would be... Yeah, that'd be 2.
Sweet. All right, he takes that and runs through the fire. What are you guys doing? You've got a shocked wolf that isn't knocked out necessarily. You've got a tied up wolf and a definitely knocked out bear. I mean, you've thoroughly handled this situation.
So,
So he's running away from us?
You don't know. You don't know where he's gone.
Chuck does. Does Chuck know if he's running away from
Chuck
us?
has no idea what direction he's gone, and he can't necessarily detect what portion of his wall of fire got breached.
Oh. I
Oh,
thought
I'm telling you, he's not on-
inside the sphere.
He's not on this side.
Do I smell burning clothes or person?
Good question.
Ooh, burning hair.
Roll plus sharp.
Still got a question to hold, don't
You do. A read a bad situation question, Pat.
I'll also take an opportunity to use my magnum, and I will be cold. I'm gonna delete the wolf.
The one that's in the net?
Again, delete it.
The one that's in the net.
No, first the one that's tased because it might rally quicker than the net.
That I didn't tase it. I knocked it out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's out. Then
Oh,
right,
sorry.
the one in the
I
net.
apologize. You did knock it out. I misspoke. Yes.
Okay, then the one in the net, we're deleting it.
Goodness. All right.
And I
Bang.
rolled a 7, by the way.
Okay. With a 7, you are aware that he is running to somewhere on the cliff wall, but not obviously the main cave opening that you can see on the opposite side of the valley.
Do I have a general sense of direction he's running?
Unfortunately, with the fire and all of the other overwhelming scents and smells and things going on right now, you do not.
Okay.
And then silence fills the valley again as the fire dies down and the anti-magic field dissipates.
Oh.
I'll go.
How far?
And then all of the sunflowers in your direction just sort of part rather quickly as a breeze hits you all in the face, filled with this stench of rotting, and you hear, "Welcome, hunters. I have long awaited your arrival at my new home. I see you've met a few of my pets. I hope Robert and Anna weren't too much trouble. I welcome you into my home, which, after your demise, will be my permanent residence. Of course, you are welcome to forfeit your lives now and join my cause to spread the race of the Faerun across Toril once again, as it was meant to be. We shall build cities of gold, and all will live under the protection of the true masters. The choice is yours. Just know poor Amarok and Alan don't have much time left."
Who the hell is Amarok?
You guys went to his shop.
We
Well,
did
we
go.
tried to go to his shop.
We almost
Yeah,
broke
it's
into his
close.
shop.
I lean
close.
towards the cave and point my thumb and I'm like,
Chuck.
this guy. I
Chuck
cannot.
raises a hand and says, excuse me? Excuse me. Who the hell are you?
You just, I love that. You guys simultaneously heard that voice in the center of your mind and on the wind around you. It sounded, the voice on the wind sounded raspy and airy. He replies, "I am Hallam Rot, new
thought we called the
sheriff
wind Mariah.
of this land."
Edgy name, so cool.
I can't work with somebody that would make an orphan of 3 baby cubs.
How long did it take for you to come up with that one?
You don't hear a reply.
I think I start a fake boxing check. I'm like, get him. So much made up.
When you do that boxing check, the breeze pulls itself back into the mouth of the cave, and all of the flowers point back toward the mouth of the cave, almost of their own volition.
But you said there's a nice clear path now from here.
There is. It appears like that breeze has cleared a nice path for you.
I'm going to take out a photo. Is this or was this Suzanne?
Yeah, definitely was. Yeah.
No. We can't.
Wait,
Fuck it up.
did
Cupcake.
Mary have a
We have a world to save.
nameless drugstore 5x7 printed photo of this bear, or is
Oh,
this
yeah,
like
Def.
a photo off
No,
the
for sure.
printer?
No.
He got it off the internet.
No. When Mary
Yeah.
makes her
5x7.
walls, she uses nice
Oh, that's
photo
true.
paper, glossy.
Yeah.
That's true.
The-
Glossy 5x7 of a bear.
But we can't let this continue. We can't.
Mm-hmm.
How many more Suzannes need to die, Mary? We need to stop this threat.
No more Suzanne.
Do it for Mary. I mean, for Mary first.
God, really, you know,
Looking at Adrian and it's like he's learning how to speak her language. This is like kind of touching. Like
do it for the bears, not for the people who we know are dying in there.
We have
Think
to
of
do
the
it for
three
those
cubs.
3 cubs.
The 3 orphaned cubs.
Mm-hmm.
Let's end
My
this.
mind is made up.
All right, do you guys go into the cave?
Mhm.
Can we
I hand
before-
Mary my 9mm because
Oh,
I've got my
perfect.
trident and my sniper rifle.
as we
Wonderful.
like get to the edges of the cave, can we
Try
like
not to drop it.
I think Val probably wouldn't know much about like tracking people, but like if there's any like elements of mud or rot, or if the ground is soft here, can she kind of like look to see if she can tell where Bobby ran off to?
Roll to investigate a mystery really quick, which is plus sharp.
8.
It's difficult with an 8. You can tell that he made his way to somewhere on the cliff face, but he did not make his way to this cavern entrance. You see, yeah, I mean that's all I can really give you in terms of, you have the cliff face looks like it's pocked with cracks and possible entrances. You're not sure of which might have been the one he went in.
I think Val might even be like, this would work, maybe for one of us if any of us were small enough, but...
There is only
None of us
one
are
of you that would
right
be
now.
small enough, yes.
And even then, Raven is currently still werewolfed out, yeah?
Yeah, she is.
Werewolf now.
All right.
So I think she looks at that and is like, doesn't mention it to anyone.
You
She's
guys
like,
make your way into the maw of this cave. As you go deeper and deeper, the air in the cave smells musty with a slight sour stench of freshly rotting meat. You look up
Are we
and
gonna
notice...
set up a marching order?
Sure. Yeah, why don't you give me your marching order really quick?
I'd kind of like if Chuck stayed at the back as a rear guard, keeping Mary and Val in the middle, and me and Raven up front as the rapid response.
That sounds good to me. Is that good with everyone else?
Unless Chuck knows something about himself that I don't know that would make him better in the front.
That works for me.
Great.
If
All right.
Chuck knows something about himself that you don't already know, just one thing.
You look up to see that the cavern you find yourself in climbs upward into the mountain. And the roots of the sunflowers that you saw in that field appear to make their way into this area that you find yourself in. Massive thorny vines that protrude through solid rock, making forward travel rather difficult but not impossible. It's just going to take you a hot minute to get through here.
How's my light bulb doing?
There's a mild ding-a-ling.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
it's
there
a
is.
pretty
Light
dim
bulbs
light.
do.
It's holding the light bulb.
They ding.
Bad. No, just a bad joke, I think, yeah. So you guys make your way through, and you make your way through this very tight corridor to the end. I'll actually put Raven in the front. Raven, all of your sorry, just moved you, Val. All of your premonition senses are going crazy right now when you look into the next room ahead of you and see... Give me a second to reveal it. Oh, Man, I have like really heavily darkened this for the viewers because I don't necessarily want them seeing it before you guys see it, but I'm just gonna edit it because who cares? Because I cannot see anything. All right, you see
a menu.
A menu.
Is it an Arby's menu?
No, not like this.
No,
Oh.
Pat.
Arby's menu, yes.
You see
Generic,
that?
nameless beef and roast beef based store.
And sitting on the ground in the room in front of you, you see the pelts of multiple bear cubs.
Oh. No.
Mary, would you like my trident?
No. You wield it. I put away the flash bulb and I pull out my magnum.
And Evelyn, you remember distinctly that feeling of friend turned foe, that feeling of your mind turned against you in this room somehow. You see the two doors reminiscent of the trapped room that you felt yourself in earlier.
This is bad. This is very, very bad. No, I know.
How big of a shield that anti-magic thing you cast before, how big does it get? Is there a way for you to keep it around us or put it somewhere where we can stay inside of it?
I mean, I could put it around us, but then Chuck wouldn't be able to do what Chuck does best. And I wouldn't be able to do what I can do.
Would it be possible to drop it around the threat when we see it? The windsock thing?
Possibly.
Maybe that would be something good for you to have ready to go.
I remember that I had a limited amount of silver dust. Have I used all up of
No.
my supply? Okay.
No, that would be very mean of me. You can cast it one more time.
All right.
I can give it a try, but I don't know.
And as a reminder, Faerûm are known to have pretty intense magical armor always on them. That is difficult to pierce with anything that isn't magical.
Luckily, I have a trident.
This thing's awful.
So
I got nothing.
my best shot is to get down the spell as soon as I see it.
Well, that's all we can ask of you.
But that
Hopefully
also
we'll
means
get the drop on it before it gets the drop on us.
that also means that no magic can go into this space where he is. So
That could present a problem if we are firing magical weapons at it.
exactly.
All right. How do you guys
Maybe it would be
move
best to
forward?
put the sphere around our non-magical friends to help protect them. Bullets aren't magic. Mary can still fire a gun.
Bullets aren't magic.
Good point.
Yet is the point.
Chuck just gestures his
Please,
gun.
please do not rig the guns, please.
I don't have the equipment to rig the guns.
Okay,
yet.
thank you.
Yes.
Valerie does not have her purse with her. We are safe.
You guys hear what sounds like the shriek of a child pierce the air around you.
I hate kids.
Wow, Mary. The baby cubs. I hate kids.
And then you hear a woman sobbing to accompany it.
I think Val would be like, yo, we gotta go. I know we got stuff to think about, but we gotta get in there.
Why would we hear the sounds of children crying? There have been no children abducted. As far as we know, only 2 adults are under this thing's sway.
Yes.
Evil people always use the signs of people in pain in order to lure you into a trap.
Anna did mention that Bobby's family is here.
Yeah, that's great. That doesn't take away my statement.
This is getting weirdly parallel to recent events.
Chandler Markov is showing a little bit there.
I'm not saying we shouldn't go. I'm just warning ahead of time.
Your Markov is showing.
Standing here debating it is
former
not
memories
solving
of
this
someone
problem.
else seem to be seeping into my mind.
All right, what do you guys do? Let's move forward.
Yeah, I think Val is almost like leaning in, like almost like, despite being several feet smaller than Mary, is like, if you don't move, I'm gonna start going because I think she just can't hear like other regular people who didn't ask to be in this kind of realm.
Suzanne's not going to
Potentially
avenge
hurting.
herself. We need to go.
All right, who goes first? And which way are you going? Top door or bottom door? These doors are, I know that they seem open on the map. They are closed on the map. They are open.
Well, I think me and Raven should go kind of side by side.
Okay. So, are you going
This
into the
way,
top or the bottom?
Which direction can I hear the people in?
You hear the people more directly through the bottom. No, the top door, actually, I think makes more sense. I apologize.
I know what I can do.
Oh, sorry, Val.
It's a question of whether Thomas will let me.
It's always a good question.
You ever heard about enchanting weapons?
I have. I don't know if you know this, Chandler. I play a really high-level wizard in a Pathfinder campaign.
I've got a magic
Never heard of it.
little light bulb that can harness magic electricity, and maybe I can use it to enchant.
Roll your freaking weird science, you nerd.
No. This would be a magic move, not a weird science move.
So it'd be plus weird?
Yeah, we're not doing this now. Okay. I'm waiting.
All right. So Adrian and Raven, you guys make your way through the first door up to the top, and Mary, as you are following closely behind, the moment Adrian steps through after Raven, the door closes in front of you, and the door on the other side, Chuck, you see down that door to the south there, closes, and looks like weaves of arcane locks wrap themselves around the bars of these wooden gates. And you guys appear to be trapped in here as... give me 1 second.
No.
Yep, it's good. It's all good.
Oh.
The three of you... Chandler?
I was just gonna say time check. Are we ending at 8 or 8:30?
Rob, you tell me.
I can go. We can go.
Okay, because I think that we can finish it in 30 minutes.
Okay.
The three of you hear a sound like 1,000 voices echoing in war. Strife and rage fills your mind. Can all of you roll to act under pressure, except for Adrian and Raven? Raven, however, I will give you the opportunity. You know exactly what's about to happen. Some sort of magical sigil was left in the ground here to affect the people left in the room. You can attempt to dispel it as a reaction to this occurring. You're just going to need to roll to do it.
Yeah, I want to do that.
This is starting to seem very familiar.
It's weird. I set this up before that. It is weird.
Hey, Thomas, your John is showing.
I've had... Oh, no.
Sorry, you guys, I'm not gonna try to kill you or anything. Not like John does.
Under pressure is
You
cool,
said
right?
it needs to be plus weird, right? For me?
It does need to be plus weird for you.
That's an 11.
Okay.
Actually, 12, because I have plus 1 for the premonition.
Chandler? Val, what did you roll?
I got a 9.
And Chuck, what did you get?
9.
Okay. Val and Chuck, you feel this rage come over your mind for a second, and you just look at Mary, who levels her Glock right at your head, and then in an instant,
Whose?
Mary's Glock right at your head.
At mine?
Yeah, at your head.
Okay.
And Raven just shouts a word and moves her hands, and suddenly your minds are brought back to yourselves, and all of you feel in an instant that you would have murdered each other without a second thought.
Oh, no, this can't be happening again. Oh.
Oh no, character development.
I think like Val takes a second and it's just like that like notion of like, you know, she's now had like weapons fired at her, and she's like, you know, had that whole human experience, and now is like friendly fire or the threat of it certainly feels a little bit different, but like looks at Mary and she's like, it's okay, I felt it too,
Oh, no.
It's okay.
I don't like
Hey.
this. I don't like
No.
this at all.
Smack her in the nose and say bad dog.
No.
I don't like this at all.
And then I think Val kind of like looks at Chuck too, and she's like, "Did you feel it?"
Mm-hmm. Chuck grits his teeth and looks at the doors. Now we hear lock slam into place.
Yes, the doors appear to be arcanely locked, but the moment, Raven, that you have dispelled whatever this trap was, you hear that same voice pierce through your skull, and everyone else in the chamber, you also hear this, but you don't hear it in your head. You hear it as that airy voice on the wind. You hear, "You knave! You dare act against your master's will! This will be your end!" And you hear the sound of crackling lightning come from down the hallway, and the smell of ozone just enters your nostrils as the hairs on the back of your neck stand on end. You feel something is coming for you.
So Chuck looks at it and says, "Oh, full of hot air. That was your last interesting thing." And knock knock. Hits his the butt of the revolver against the door to cast knock.
Sweet. Roll to use magic.
That is an 11.
Yep, you do it. You just tap your gun up against the lock on it, and all of these weaves of arcane energy just dissipate from...
Chuck opens the door.
Thank you.
Chuck opens the door and, come on, step through. Plenty of good seats inside.
You hear a slithering sound coming from that other door from down the hallway, and just a rushing of wind as you sense whatever this thing is coming for you and coming fast. But Raven, it does not sound like it's coming from your direction.
His voice becomes a little more emphatic. Says, "Now, people!"
All right, you guys jolt through the opening as a toothy, horrifying maw crashes up against the door of what looks to be a flying windsock filled with teeth with 4 arms around the roof, the rim of its mouth. It grabs the edges of the door, and its hands glow, and it rips it off in one smooth motion. And where are you guys going? What is happening in this instant as I get combat music going?
I can't really see the whole room. I'm not sure what's... Did they go in the room where me and Raven were, or...
It had knock cast on it, I believe.
Yeah, the door had not cast on it. What are you seeing, Pat? Because do you guys see everything that I've...
Now I can
I can
see
see everything.
Val at the top, it looks like.
Yeah, if you just
And then
move down a bit, you might be
me
able to
and
see a bit more.
Raven. Yeah.
Yeah,
So if
try
we all
zooming
went
out a
into
bit,
this room-
because it's kind of a larger map that I have there.
I was gonna say, if we all went into the room, we're like here, I guess.
Yeah, you guys can move yourself into there.
I'm not leaving Val's side.
Great.
I moved into that next room, so
Yeah, I
you'd be
saw.
up there with me.
In an instant, that lightning shoots through this room and bounces off of a wall. Adrian, you take 2 harm as a lightning bolt hits you in the side, bouncing off of a wall. Your mithril does take some of that.
Hang on. Because you said we sensed the ozone.
You
and
did?
the crackling
Okay,
and
so
all-
yeah,
when
actually, yes. You tell me. Where do you move?
I'm curious
A
whether or
lightning
not
bolt
the
next?
trident can somehow protect me, since it uses currents and electricity and weird magic stuff.
I
Can
like that.
Use it as a lightning rod.
I like that. You are also wearing mithril, which protects you from some stuff, and at the same time, you have your battle sense. So why don't you roll to act under pressure, and we'll see what happens.
Pressure. Under pressure.
Under pressure.
And that's all we can sing of that
Yep.
very good song.
That's the whole thing. That's DMC already done.
That's the whole thing.
That's just a 12.
Yes.
Oh, just a 12.
Just a little wow.
You grab the lightning with the trident and back your way up against the wall behind you and shoot it off to the side, redirecting it, and it hits the
Rad.
wall, crashes into it next to you. As Raven, you've come around that corner a bit. You hear another crack of... Raven, give me a sharp roll really quick. Take +1 on it because your nose rocks. And your ears rock.
Nose rock.
Oh, for God's sake, Thomas, get a room already. Jeez.
That'd be a 14. Sorry,
Okay.
14.
The hairs on the back of your neck that were standing up guide you as you turn around to see Bobby with a rifle in his hands, turned in your direction. You drop quickly as a shot hits the rock behind you as he lever action reloads, looking like he's ready to pop another one. He says, "Let's get him, Sheriff." All right. It's time to fight. What are you guys doing?
Raven's gonna charge right for Bobby.
Sweet. No problem. You can get there. Make your
Okay.
attack.
I'm going to kick some ass.
Yeah!
That would be, let's see, +3, 11.
Yeah. What extra effect are you wanting to add to that hit?
I'm gonna take less damage. And he takes 3, and I ignore his if he has any armor.
Oh, he takes 3?
Yep, from my claws.
Okay. He sees you come, lever actions, fires, one hits you square in the shoulder, but you push straight through it. You take 3 harm, reducing that. I think you have natural armor. Am I correct?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so you take 3 harm. Does that put you
I
unstable?
take
No blood back in her body.
But I take 1 less, and I have my unquenchable vitality. So let me see if I.
Oh, so
heal
you do
myself.
have armor then.
I have the one from the taking less damage because I rolled so high, but the unquenchable vitality.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah,
I was trying to
don't have
determine where that
anything-
was coming from.
Yeah. That I rolled an 11 for unquenchable vitality.
Which
so
heals you for 2?
Which heals me for 2, so that means
Sweet.
I take none.
So what
got it.
actually happens is the shot goes through your shoulder and then instantly, like all of those movie shots where someone gets shot through, it just zips itself back up like a zip tie, and you
Wolverine.
charge forward. Is this lethal or non-lethal? Actually,
He's tried to kill. No, he's tried. So, in Raven's mind, he's tried to now kill her more than once, and her friends more than once. So she's not being soft with this guy.
okay, I need you to be very careful with defining soft for me.
Yeah.
Because you do bring him down to 0, so I want you to describe to me what you do.
Okay, so Raven will she pounces on him to try to knock the weapon away. And
Okay.
because she's in wolf mode and it's all of this from the premonition and everything, like
Yep.
to like charging to her, remembering what she just like full on bites into his shoulder.
Oh yeah, did you take +1 earlier from your premonition for this roll?
Yes, I did.
Okay. You technically don't have that anymore because your premonition has come to pass. The thing you saw in your
Okay.
premonition was the room that caused your friends to kill each other.
It would still been a 10 then, or 11.
Which is fine. You
Yeah.
still get the effects that you need, but you can go
Yeah.
ahead and mark 1 experience for successfully
Okay.
overcoming your premonition. And you knock him out cold on the ground. His gun is gone.
Over.
It's bad.
And she
Was
bit
the
him.
gun? Was he firing lightning?
From the gun, no. The Farum fired lightning at you
Okay.
guys
I'm
out of
sorry,
its
I got
maw.
confused about the angle of which the lightning was coming at, but I get it now.
As you pounced on him, his head hard hit the stone, and you just bite square into his shoulder. He's bleeding profusely, but not quite dead yet. He is down for the count, though. And around the corner, the Farum scoots into this room, squirming its way through these openings as if it was no problem for it. And it is going to level itself toward the group of you, and you see it sort of swirl its arms in this horrifying, like, multi-jointed motion, and it breathes fire out of its mouth into the center of its 4 arms and hurls a fireball at all of you.
Oh Christ!
Yeah. Is anybody firing back at it, or are you all acting defensively?
Actually, if I could do a
I
reaction
haven't done
spell.
anything yet.
And I. Oh wait,
You're way far away.
Oh, I can't do it. Yeah.
Chuck, what are you trying to do?
If it thing's gonna throw a fireball at us, I am going to toss up a wall of ice between us and the fireball.
Okay. Roll to use magic and also roll to act under pressure.
The classic.
Everyone else, what are you guys doing? Are you firing back at it or running?
I was going to try and use the trident to shoot it in the mouth.
Great.
Since that seems to be its most vulnerable spot.
So roll to kick some ass. Val, Mary, what are you guys doing?
I am being defensive. I have something that I'm doing on my turn, but I can wait.
Under pressure is what, cool?
It's plus cool. Chandler, why don't you go to act under pressure as well, since you're acting
Oh, great.
defensively.
I love that.
Yeah, you're
That's
so
my
cool.
favorite.
Mary's the coolest.
So yeah, the wall of ice is is 13.
Great. So
And
the spell is cast.
The under pressure is 11.
Great, and you do it with enough time to partially block the fireball. Adrian, what did you roll on your roll? And
Rolled a 9.
Great. Val, what are you doing?
Val's gonna kind of like look to Adrian and like with a really shaky hand out of like, I think she carries like a kind of crossbody like fanny pack, pulls like a pretty small handgun out of it, and is going to try to aim the same way that she's seeing Adrian do that.
Sweet. Take your shot.
So
Doesn't Val have a way of helping? I'd much rather my 9 be a 10.
She does, but that would forego her attack this round.
I think I would rather, if I could do that, I think, well, no, I already said what I was going to do.
Okay.
I'm just going to do that.
I mean, I didn't know if it was something that was a part of her natural.
She can help out without having to roll. She automatically rolls 10s on help out.
It's
which is
just
really
so
good.
helpful.
Okay.
Mary, what did you roll on your pressure roll?
A 9, believe it or not.
Okay. You take 1 harm as fire licks at you.
Ah, it licked me.
Chuck, your
person.
duster is set ablaze at the base of it. And Adrian,
His feather duster?
yeah, his feather duster.
Is the leather
Adrian,
pretty resistant
your
to fire?
suit is now nicely charred. Val?
Well, would you say that if I've never shot into a gun before,
Yeah,
or
you can
into
take
the
that.
mouth of a weird little creature, that's a 10 then.
Okay. What are you doing? Are you putting it where you want it? Giving +1 to someone else? Adding more harm or taking
I
less
would
harm?
think Val would have seen plenty of Dirty Harry movies to know just kind of how to hold the gun and point.
Yeah, I think she like knows but feels very uncomfortable doing so.
Do you feel semi-lucky? Huh?
Yeah, do you feel okay? Are you lucky? What's going on? But like shoots, and I think like I would like to inflict additional harm.
Okay. You shoot your gun. And it deflects like steel off of its carapace, remembering that this thing, without an anti-magic field around it, is essentially immune to your weaponry. But the moment that happens, and you see this wall of ice go up, you swear you see a smile appear on this thing's round face, and fear enters your heart as you realize you currently cannot touch this thing.
Oh yeah, no.
In literally
Even
no
with
way.
The shotgun, I could.
Nope.
Nothing I could do.
No. And
But you got to fire your gun. So.
Chuck, you instantly the wall. You hear something slam up against the back side of it, and all of you hear throughout the cavern just this maniacal laughter.
You said I got hit with the flames and my suit got charred. Did I take any harm? Or
No, because you guys have armor, you did not take harm.
Do I have a chance to do what I was hoping to do?
Sure.
So, my light bulb. There is magic going off all over the place right now.
Oh, deaf.
It's glowing up.
Oh.
Totes.
So, I'm going to try and use magic this time, not weird science, magic, by ripping out the cord of the light bulb and wrapping it around the barrel of the gun to try and help enchant the weapon.
I love this so much. Roll to use magic, please.
Absolutely, and I can promise you this will be a good one because I've got luck to burn.
Yeah, you do.
I got a 6. We're gonna use that luck.
Use that luck. All right, you
Don't
take
forget to
this.
mark your experience as well.
I don't think I
Yeah.
get the double dip, do I?
No. Using luck, I think that we determine. It's if someone helps you out and ups your roll, you get to mark experience. But I don't think using luck means that you get to mark experience.
Man.
That I will draw a line there
because I use luck, I get to know how this all connects to a previous conspiracy. But I have a feeling that I already know how this all connects.
You
to
do.
previous.
You definitely do.
Yeah.
And I don't think I need to spell it out for you. A genius.
Yeah.
To be fair.
A 400 IQ individual.
A 400 IQ individual, yes. You take this string and you feel your hand sort of tingling with some sort of mild electricity as you wrap it around the barrel of your gun and level it in the direction of where you think you saw this thing go. There's a massive ice wall in the way between you and where it once was.
Yeah, we're not shooting just yet.
Adrian, you did see that beam of ice hit it in the side, and it did. You did see it leave a cold blister on its side. And Raven, from a small hole in the back of this room, you see the Faerun just sort of squeeze its way through, and it looks like it is darting toward the chamber over here, where you can see a small desk a little bit. And all of you now looking down this chamber, I imagine you start to move your way down, can see this Faerun making his way down over there.
Try a little ladder. Just a little love.
What do you guys do? Let's go to Raven first. Unless Evelyn's busy.
If I unmute myself, can I see if, like, further down this room, is there another exit from this room?
Why don't I reveal some more stuff as you take a second to look?
Reveal it to us.
Roll20's cool.
Guys, isn't this just crazy? We're just fighting a windsock in a cave.
It's kind of weird.
Not how I expected to use my Saturday.
you look down the cavern,
Me.
and you see the Faerun rushing down toward two cell doors, in one of which you can see a red-headed halfling woman.
Mm-hmm.
And you do see sort of a scattering of desks and paper sitting around.
All right, so seeing that there doesn't seem to be any exit from that, Raven's going to move forward, which I will do right now.
As you move forward, Raven,
Yo.
can you roll plus cool for me?
I guess.
Raven's
I
very
definitely
cool,
would.
though.
Is she?
Oh, the coolest.
She's weirder than she is cool.
Tends to be how it works, right?
Can she roll plus fuzzy?
No. She would add like 10 to that, which would be ridiculous
Yeah.
in this system.
I rolled a plus cool is an 8.
Okay. The Faerun on a dime turns around and points all four of his hands at you, and just sort of a purplish glow takes over his hands, and you feel your mind start to give for a moment, and you don't want to hurt him right now.
All right.
You don't get the feeling that'll last very long,
All right.
but you almost want to stop your friends for a second.
All right.
You want to buy him some time.
Okay. Then
So what do you
Raven's gonna turn around and say, Wait, this doesn't feel right. Don't go forward yet. Something's off.
You guys hear that maniacal laughter fill the cavern again. What do you guys do?
Can Val see? Is it like trying to open that door? To
It doesn't
where, like, the other
try to
people are?
open it. It just opens the door.
Okay.
I'm not waiting.
So this thing, just to give you guys a visual, is covered in what look like dragonfly wings and little antenna all over it. And from behind one of those large wings, one of its hands grabs a jangly set of keys, and it just jams it into one of the locks and starts trying to open up the door.
No way. I'm not waiting on this thing. I want to use my enchanted gun.
Great.
For what he did to those cubs,
Kick some butt, Chandler.
there's no way I'm letting this guy away.
Roll more than 4, Chandler.
Don't worry, I've got luck that I'm willing to spend. I'm a madman. Thomas doesn't understand.
Tell that to Rodrigo.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
He's
Yeah, where'd he go?
Somewhere, maybe.
Rodrigo, where'd he go?
Nice. Thomas.
We got a 10. I don't even need to use any luck.
All right. What are you adding to this?
We're gonna inflict +1 harm, so it is a total of 5 harm because
What?
it's enchanted and terrible harm. Yeah.
Why is it 5?
So it's 3
That's fine.
+1 because it's enchanted and now magic from the enchanted weapon.
Oh
And-
my
and I got
goodness.
terrible harm.
Man, Chandler, Mary's kind of cool. Are you sure you want to go down this route?
Yeah. I'm trying to get I don't know if you know this, but I'm trying to get a job at Adrian's agency.
You got John Wick.
Thomas.
Yes.
You hurt the thing that was closest to her, and now
I'm
she's going on
using
a
my last
rampage.
hold and
Yeah?
asking what's the best way to protect the victims.
Stopping him from opening the door, which Mary just shot the hand off that was holding the keys of this thing. It drops to the ground and it turns to you and you see it and it spits what looks like a beam of sickness at
Me,
you.
right?
And you
Yeah.
just puke on the spot. You take 2 harm and you have -2 forward, which means your next roll is at -2.
Mm-hmm. I did it, guys. This is what peak performance looks like.
I'm all right.
This is what that blade looks like.
Chuck, what do you do?
Yeah, I'm so cool.
So how much is Chuck buying this little spiel that Raven gave about something feels wrong?
Raven, can you roll to manipulate someone plus charm?
And actually, I actually use my unnatural appeal as plus weird instead of charm.
Oh,
when I
no.
manipulate someone. So this is actually the first time I've had to use this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that I rolled a 5,
Plus your weird?
2 1s and a 3.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Good timing.
Let's get experience.
on a miss, it says it's up to that hunter to decide how badly you offend or annoy them. They mark experience if they decide not to do what you asked. So you are actually completely dissuaded of whatever she is saying and believe that you should press on past her.
That's not my concern. Well, actually, no. She would have just turned on around and attacked us.
Yeah, if she was fully taken over, she would have
Fully,
just
yeah,
started
that's
attacking
true.
you. But Chandler, you can go ahead and mark 1 experience for going against Raven's wishes.
Oh shoot, that's right. I also would have got a +1 because I'm a contrarian.
Oh,
But
Nice.
I got a good enough roll. All right, thank you.
all right. What are you doing, Chuck?
Chuck is going to say, "Yeah, no, I don't think so." And magic missiles at the
Sweet. Pew, 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 pew.
It's
Roll.
all the same spells.
Roll to kick some butt.
I
It
see
really is
this.
too familiar. It's
I
really
see
too
this
familiar.
same encounter played out across
Flat
multiple
circle.
dimensions.
that's an 8.
Who's killing the Kraken?
Not a crack and a lich. With an 8, you deal harm. It deals harm. How much harm does that do?
So I guess the question would be whether that counts. Oh, actually, hold a second. I mean, I'm assuming it's force for the magic missiles.
Yes.
So that would be 1, unless it's because the fact that actually. No, I'm sorry.
I think you can shoot. I think it's fire missiles. Or are you using force damage?
I'd prefer fire.
Then go for it.
Honestly.
It's still, you can flavor it however you want. You hit. So
Yeah,
you tell
okay.
me.
So fire. Now, would this be considered a blast? So what is it? 4 total. How does it work with like magic missile or? For this?
Let
I'm
me
not
pull
sure.
up your character sheet really quick. Let's all look at Chuck's character sheet really quick, everybody.
Everybody, let's take a quick
Everybody look at the character sheet. Blast is 2 harm. Fire adds an additional 2 harm. So that's 4 harm if you do a fire blast. You essentially are casting fireball on him if you do that. You can center it to where it doesn't hit the innocent people.
Yeah.
Obviously. So you blast this fire in his direction, and you sense for a moment all of the like wings down his back trill along, and the fireball doesn't hit him, which is what he looks like he was hoping for. You get the feeling that he might be able to reflect direct spell attacks back at their target, and he takes the blast directly and will shoot back at you a sunbeam directly aimed at your face. You take 3 harm. It ignores
Hope you put on
armor.
your sunblock today.
Oh no! Great point, Cam.
Gotta wear a daily SPF.
Ignores
though.
armor
It's
unless your
important.
armor is magical, in which case you can take harm away from it.
Shoot. Okay. So it goes. What I go from okay to dying.
Or, wait, how much health do you have?
Well, actually, that's the thing I'm not clear on because it's like it goes. I was at 5 of 7, but taking 2.
So that you are now unstable. So that checkbox.
Welcome.
So yeah. Sorry, I clicked for you there. So that brings you up to 3 out of 7 health left, and you are unstable. So that sunbeam dug into your eyes and gave you like really rough burns across your face, and you are nearly blinded by that. Blinded by the light.
And that's all we can say.
That's all we can sing. And in that moment, taking this sort of pause with Raven doing what she's doing and that beam going across, he enters into the room and pulls this woman to the other side of him in front of you and holds her up with his 2 arms.
I think as Val sees like the thing go to reach for it, I think she tries to like latch on to whatever like air of familiarity, be it like the arms, like the mouth, like looking for something to talk to, and it's just like I think stares it down with as much like anger as she can muster, and she goes, "You're a coward. They're already down and out. Come for me." And is going to try to like more or less persuade him to like leave or what is it? Manipulate someone.
Okay.
Like, you come and get like she's like, I saw that sick smile you got. You get
haven't.
over
We will
here."
get to
No,
that.
I'm waiting.
I will say this. I love that. Roll to manipulate someone, go ahead and do it because this is an egotistical monster that you have met. At the same time, according to the rules of the game, the monster does not have to listen to you at all. Manipulate someone technically doesn't affect monsters, but we'll see how good you do because I'm not going to say no just straight up.
Unless you're a pararomantic, then you can seduce monsters.
Or a monstrous. Monsters can also gain the ability to manipulate monsters.
And seduce
That's
them.
both very fun, and I'll have to look into that for later.
Gross.
I rolled a 9. I am going to use a luck point.
Okay. You see him just sort of laugh, and he floats forward with her in 2 of his arms. The third one below just sort of crackles with lightning, and he shoots a lightning bolt directly at you. Roll to act under pressure.
Sure.
Adrian, what are you doing?
I'm kind of confused.
Okay.
Aren't Valerie and them still behind the wall of ice, or did it
No.
melt?
No, the wall of ice was, if you're looking
Let's
kind of
see.
big on the map, was up over there. You guys have moved
so
your
we've
way.
moved past the wall of ice. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say because you said Mary shot the keys out of the thing's hand,
Yes.
so it couldn't open the door. But you just said it went inside the door.
He grabbed it with one of his other hands and opened it up.
Okay, well, because I wanted to know if me asking how to protect.
Oh,
the
that's right.
victims. You said
To protect the
to
victims.
keep him from coming through the door. I wanted to know if I could shoot the trident at the door and.
How
block
about
it with
this?
ice.
Keep playing to his ego. That is how you can best protect the victims. That is what I will say. In this situation, the way that it is currently laid out, the best way to protect the victims is to keep playing to his ego. He
By the
believes
way,
himself
I
to be a
rolled a
master.
9.
A 9. Sweet. You take 1 harm as lightning barely skirts past you, as he floats forward, cackling. Save her. I dare you.
I dare you to put her down and face me one-on-one. You keep hiding behind innocent, harmless people, and yet you say you're all-powerful and going to rule the world? Here I am. I have a powerful weapon to put against you. You have your powerful magics to use against me, but you constantly hide behind weak women and children and weak-minded humans.
Get 'em,
Oh.
get 'em.
That weak that you have to use your minions as meat shields? I don't think you're capable of ruling a chicken coop, much less the world.
Okay. He was perfectly okay with using human shields, literally not a problem, until you questioned his ability to rule. And then in that instant, he
Look at
drops
that.
her to the ground, and you can see he looks like you look down at her and her stomach roils, similar to how
Run.
what's his name's did before you guys protected
Mary.
him from the thing bursting from his chest. And he says,
Oh,
we could add something extra to the party. And he looks like he's about to reach down to claw into her stomach. But he has dropped her, and you do see a very wide opening for you to take a shot on him.
Great. I still have my gun.
Because you did take a nice shot at him. Raven and
Yeah.
Adrian, or Chuck, have you gone?
You shot a magic missile.
That's right, you magic missiled him. Or fireballed him. That's what it... Magic missile turned into fireball. Raven and Adrian, what are you guys doing in this moment, as you
Am
see
I
it? You are no longer taken
being-
over. Your mind is back
Okay.
to your own.
Alright, so with our gloves on, smash anti-magic field around this dude.
Okay, roll to use magic.
person they dropped, right?
Yeah, person's been dropped.
Person's been dropped. No longer in his
What did you say?
hands.
That's who she's putting the shield around. Is...
No, anti-magic field around the Bayrim.
Still, very good.
I think you could put both the Feyrim and her.
Yeah, but then I
In it.
can't attack.
What do I add to
Because I'm
the...
using
Weird
my trident.
for use magic. That's fine, because you are aware that now your guns
11.
can fully affect him and his armor is useless.
Okay.
With an
11.
11, you successfully cast
Right.
the spell, the silver doesn't affect you, you overcome any of it, and you instantly see he was sort of floating weirdly like a windsock. He just hits the ground like a sack of potatoes and starts crawling his way toward you in anger and forgets the woman on the ground entirely and just sort of crawls over her. He's still remaining in the field, but he does look like he's making his way toward you. Adrian, what do you do?
Adrian takes the trident, slides it over his back, at the same time slides his sniper rifle up into position and aims right down the throat.
Sweet. Take your shot.
Take the shot.
I love tonight.
What did you roll?
That's an
Are you
11.
doing... Oh my gosh. All right.
6 and a 3 plus 2 for my cool. So.
What are you
But
adding
isn't
to it?
tough?
Oh, tough. Either way,
yeah.
they're both 2.
He got a very good
They're
roll.
both plus 2.
So how much harm does your weapon deal, and what are you doing on top of with your 10
The
plus?
sniper rifle does 2, and I'm going to do inflict extra harm for
So
plus
3.
1.
All right, that hits him square in one of his shoulders, and he sort of reels back for a moment and then notices the woman down again and looks like he's moving down toward her. But before he does that, he will whip his arm around, and from his back, he will pull a chain off that he looks like he just always has ready to go. and will whip it in your direction toward your ankles. You take 1 harm, but I don't think that does anything to you.
No.
It's like
And
a
I yell
curse.
at it.
Skip it.
It's a curse.
No using minions. Come on, big boy.
All right.
You want to go? Let's go.
Mary, Chuck, and Val, what are you guys doing? He looks like he's on his last legs.
While he's still in that field, I'm going to run in with my golf club and just try to bang down on the face. as hard
The
as I
golf
can.
club of...
Not a golf club.
The golf club.
Well, so the baton, I think because it's malfunctioning,
It just won't shock him. It's still a titanium.
Yeah, but
okay.
they deal the same damage. It legitimately doesn't matter which one you do.
Can I, for flavor, just have one in each hand?
Yeah,
and just
I'm into that.
gosh,
Please.
I think that would be fun. So I'll go ahead and roll.
We'll
for
say
that.
you can deal 3 harm since you've got them both in your hands, but you're a little bit more
Okay.
vulnerable.
Dual-wielding
this-
mundane madman.
Since I'm running into immediate danger without hedging my bets,
Yep.
can I hold 2?
Yeah, please.
Awesome.
Oh god, you're
Wonderful.
about to deal a lot of damage, aren't you?
I hope so.
You can use luck if you need to.
You know, let's have fun. Let's be bad. Let's have a cheat day. I'm gonna use another luck point.
So that's...
It just feels fun.
I love it. That's 3 harm base. What are
Yeah.
you doing for your 10 plus, and are you using any of your hold?
I'm going to use both of my holds.
To do
but
what?
Let's do 10 plus. I'm gonna inflict an additional harm.
So 4 harm.
4 harm. And then I'm going to inflict another harm from the what could go wrong. And then I'm going to reduce someone's harm by 1.
Which is your own?
But I'm going to do it on myself.
Okay.
Because I'm about to be in a bad place.
Yeah, you sense the fear run over this thing, and it's what could be last moments. As you feel the air around you begin to chill and freeze, its mouth just opens up, and a cone of cold centered right on you. 3 harm, ignore armor.
Okay.
But you push through it, and tell me what this looks like.
I think
As you
like,
bring it down all the way.
I think Val has like the golf club in one hand and is just like, let's see if we can bend that face enough to see that smile one more time. And smashes like down and kind of like cuts the mouth at an angle, like going from circle to like that wonky smile.
Yeah.
And then like as she cuts with that one, it goes down for one more hit.
Yeah, have you ever seen like a bent hula hoop? That's what his mouth
exactly.
becomes.
Exactly like
it
that.
folds in at both edges opposite of this bony circular maw, and it caves in on itself.
Yeah.
And you just...
Oh, and it's messy.
Yeah.
So there's like...
No,
teeth
seriously, you
and
knock wings off of this
viscera
thing,
and-
black and blue blood begins to seep out of it as it just... Its face just crushes into a heap, and you stand atop it, victorious, I imagine, hurting very bad.
Oh, I don't think I stand. I think I like, and then just immediately like fall to my knees and like try to reach one hand out for like this lady, but like even then it's just like light pats of like, hey, I don't know what's going on with you, but like hope you're okay. But,
And you guys, you brought enough basil and rose oil to heal the people in here who might have hatchlings in them. I imagine that that's what you guys do.
I was gonna say Mary kind of with a 1,000-yard stare will walk over to it, despite its obviously crumpled form. Will put one shot and then wait kind of an awkward amount of time and then do a second. It doesn't seem like a double tap. She seems kind of like in a fugue state while doing it.
It's numbers, baby. It's all about the numbers.
And you guys have successfully killed a Faerun, one of the ancient enemies of a civilization of wizards that nearly took them down in its own lair.
Adrian's gonna teabag it.
You know, I actually kind of like the Faerun if they hated wizards.
Yeah. Well, they didn't like you, and they wanted to be your master. And you see Bobby, who kind of gets up for a moment, starts to gurgle a little bit as the blood that was in his shoulder shoulder wound seems like it's maybe a little bit deeper in him than that wound might have appeared. And you guys take your time, take care of your people, and we will end tonight's session on that victory.
Great.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! Huh?
Can we loot the body?
Yes, you loot the bodies. There is actually, genuinely, there's magic items in here that you guys can loot, which I have written out.
And I'd like to imagine the coiled wire around the gun is smoking and burnt, like it's no longer
it
usable.
entirely has burned off of it. It has left a spiral mark along the barrel of it.
Around your gun, right? Not my gun.
Yeah, my gun. And you have that in the agency?
And so, really quickly, I know that, Rob, if you have to leave, please go.
No, I'm good.
Good. So, we'll ask the end of mystery questions as we wrap up the stream for tonight. Did we conclude the current mystery?
Yes.
Yes.
I would say absolutely yes. Did you save someone from certain death or worse?
Several people.
What's amazing is you actually saved everyone. I thought you were going to maul Bobby, but your mild hesitancy you gave me showed me that he should probably survive. Did we learn something new and important about the world? Yeah. I mean, maybe that paperwork can show you something new and important about the world when you get to it. And did we learn something new and important about one of the hunters? I mean,
Say, like,
Mary
learning
did
about
some
Raven
dark
Free and
stuff.
all that.
Completely useless and
Yeah.
really badass.
Mary's been saying some things.
So
That's all
then,
I'm saying.
you guys can mark 2 experience for completing this mystery.
Leveled up again.
Sweet. And remember, if you
I-
take a 6th level up, you can start taking advanced improvements.
Yeah, I leveled up earlier, but I don't know what to take. You said we got 2.
This is my 5th level up.
So the next
Also,
one, you will be able to do it.
I took an additional experience from not listening to Raven earlier.
You did.
Was that allowed? Okay.
Yeah. Actually, everyone technically did that. So
Okay, yeah.
Pat and Rob, you can
Thanks,
also
Raven.
gain an additional extra experience because she was not very convincing.
Huh? What? Who wasn't convincing?
Raven, in her dominated state, she tried to convince you to not hurt the Farum. You guys just said nope and did it anyways.
Really? I must have missed that part.
So cool. Thank you guys. That was a really fun mystery. Finally, 3 sessions
I
in.
remember the low roll, but I thought he said it was just directed toward those 3, not me.
No, it was everybody.
Oh.
Just because she did a very bad job of trying to manipulate people. Thank you guys for tuning into this. I'm not going to say week's episode of Monster of the Week, which is weird because just the name of the system would intuit that we play this every week. But
Yeah,
you
'cause
can
Monster
catch
of the
us.
Occasionally doesn't sound as impressive.
Yeah, Monster of the Occasional. You can catch us next time, I will say. Sort of leave it open-ended with maybe the same players, maybe some new people, maybe some old ones. I know Hob really wants to get back into this. And we shall see what secrets lie in wait in the lair of a Farum in the heart of Yellowstone.
Rumor has it Godzilla's.
Are we wanting to raid into someone, Evelyn?
We should.
Yeah, we'll raid Jay because he's still up and
Sweet,
he's
sweet.
got the rest of his. Yeah.
He does. Yes.
Where are we tracking how many times we've leveled up again? 'Cause
If you scroll down just a bit on your character sheet, you should see how many improvements you have marked. That is how many levels you are.
This will be level 5 for me, but I wanted to.
So,
See
for
if there was
example,
something
Chuck,
like-
you are now level 5 because you've marked 5 improvements.
Okay.
After,
Beautiful.
After we
Alright,
sign off, I
everyone.
have
So,
questions
the raid's about to go. So thank you all for joining us.
for you. If you haven't followed, follow. If you haven't sub. If your sub ran out, renew your sub. If not,
That's right.
1, 2, 3.
Oh,
What?
What are you doing?
Alright, everybody have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Hashtag speedrun.
Any
Any percent.
Achievement.
Questions, so
Don't forget to end the stream.
It just went.
Okay.